Hello there, bounty hunters, scavengers, Jedi, Sith, scoundrels across the galaxy. Welcome again to another episode of Maclunkey Chitchat. I'm your host, Old Master, with my favorite comrade.
Greetings, Specter 7 here.
How are you guys doing today? Welcome to joining us another Star Wars podcast.
You're in for some good Star Wars seat fun.
Oh yeah.
All right, before we start this, we were recently on a friend of ours on with the Film Central Review podcast channel, the Smarticus Showdown. We were on the we were on the Star Wars League, and we faced off against each other. By the way, we're the opponent here.
Thank you, Specter 7. I'm touched. I'm really touched. But you were great as well. So
thanks.
That's fine.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil it, but we'll make sure that we have the link in the description. So go ahead, watch us. We have a lot of fun there. And so once again, thank you, Kieran, for having us, and we hope we can get you on the Chitchat soon.
Not that we wish to have him, we will have you here.
We will have you.
Even if it means we're gonna force choke him almost near to death.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, a little bit of fun doesn't hurt, you know.
Yeah. All right. So we have some topics planned. They're a little bit more abstract than usual. So we are going to start off talking about Star Wars merchandise. And we're going to be talking about the Jedi and the Sith. Kind of have like a little fun little discussion, and then we are going to plan our own Star Wars trilogy, and specifically just what we're going to see, what we want to see, what we think we can see, and just kind of go from there. But we do have some news, and just some short little news. So this was announced about, I say, 3.5, 4 years ago. Rian Johnson is planned to have his own trilogy with the like, it was kind of right before The Last Jedi came out, and obviously The Last Jedi was ahead.
Oh yeah. So
it was a hit, but it was definitely not divided with fans.
Specter 7, I mean, come on. The Last Jedi was so fantastic that it split the fandom in half.
I mean, we both have our views of The Last Jedi. I love it. It's my third favorite Star Wars movie. I will say it. I know Alan loves these movies no matter what. I'm the same way. I have my gripes there and there with some of it, but still, it's Star Wars. You gotta love it. Even if you hate it, sometimes you gotta love
it. Yeah. Because like I always said, for me personally, there are no favorite Star Wars movie. For me, it is just Star Wars. I love all the movies with like the same strength of passion and love.
Same here. That being said, Empire is probably one of the best movies of all time.
It always will be like that. Always.
Oh yeah. No, nothing can beat.
Definitely
not. Yeah, but that being said, so it's definitely back in the limelight now. And so I'm wondering what your thoughts are on it, Old Master. Just like, where do you think it's going to be in the timeline? When do you think it's going to come out?
Well, let's. I would say this is a very very tough question because first and foremost, like you said, it's been like 3-4 years since this was announced, and of course, yeah, there was been so many different debates, like like is it still on or was it canceled? What is it gonna be all about? Like maybe Ryan Johnson gave up on this. Like so many different debates, and every single time when fans would ask Ryan Johnson if the trilogy is still on, he will always say like, oh, I'm still doing it. It is in development. Oh yeah, I'm still on board. And now we have another typical Ryan Johnson answer saying, oh yeah, it's still on.
Yeah.
And,
Well, actually, oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but it actually wasn't even from Johnson himself. I think it was from like some type of interviewer, and basically saying that Johnson actually has a bunch of projects like line up and stuff like that,
true.
but it is in development, and I think he's working on a script or something like that. He's writing it, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Like because if you remember from when he was talking about it, like the very beginning when he was promoting The Last Jedi, he did say that for now he said he's writing the script for all three movies, but he's not sure if he's going to direct all three of them.
Okay. Well, I think it would be interesting to kind of have a Peter Jackson approach, kind of film all three movies kind of at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, but the question right now is like because the thing is, yes, it was confirmed for an interview, but also even Ryan Johnson confirmed it as well. He also confirmed that as well. But even still, like it's not something that kind of gives a straight green lighted answer.
Yeah.
If this is going or not. And also when you ask me like when this could be released, with all the plans that the Lucasfilm has when it comes to Star Wars, blimey, I think like we're not going to see the trilogy at least like for the next 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, my guess, it's probably going to come out maybe in, say, maybe the late 2020s, like maybe 2026, 2027, maybe.
2027. I'm actually somewhere in the middle of. I think I'm between 2024, 5, and 6.
Okay, so let's. Yeah. And by the way, our last episode we talked about basically all the projects. So if you're not aware, or even if you are aware but you just want to hear like some other people's thoughts on it, please go check that episode out. We go into detail. We talk about all our thoughts and whatnot. Yeah, just to kind of give you more of a perspective.
Exactly. Yeah, but also the other part that you asked me, like what I think about when it comes to the overall story. It's a tricky question because just like for Taika Waititi's Star Wars, like even Ryan Johnson, it could be about anything.
Yeah.
It could be about anything. It could be about anything. But right now, like I really don't know. I mean, it could be about like scavengers. It could be about bounty hunters or a particular group of people, or it could be about the Jedi, the Sith. It could be about literally about anything. But I will say this: I think it definitely will be outside the Skywalker saga.
Yeah, I have a feeling. The one thing that I do want is I do want this. Like I was like kind of thinking to myself, and I think every generation of fans needs trilogy. Like there's no doubt about that. Like as long as like I don't care like Star Wars isn't gonna go away anytime soon. And just I feel like that every generation needs its own like grand adventure trilogy. And I hope this is just a flat out grand adventure. And what I was thinking more is I wouldn't focus more on the era, but I would probably focus more on like another part of the galaxy, and maybe kind of have like a different perspective on like the Jedi and the Sith, because it would still be in that part of the galaxy, obviously, because you know the Force and whatnot. But kind of focus more on a different perspective and just kind of go from there.
I mean, like, because seriously, I think like maybe Ryan Johnson, because just like other like properties when it comes to Star Wars, like Ryan Johnson's story could easily be maybe something similar to what, for example, Star Wars Resistance was.
Yeah.
Like rebel spies or pilots, maybe like, for example, a different squad of like rebels, like going on a different mission to across the galaxy outside the main storyline. Like, it could be literally, just like I said, just like for Taika Waititi, it could be anything. It could be anything, But when it comes to Ryan Johnson, I mean, it's definitely like 50-50, like, what kind of approach he's going to have. But,
yeah,
like, like, I'm really thinking, like, what kind of, what could, when it comes to Ryan Johnson's style, what could work more for him? I mean, because seriously, because this is basically like a gamble, 50-50, it could be anything, But just like for Taika Waititi, I think is going to be more centered around the Force when it comes to maybe Jedi or Sith or any other Force users. For Ryan Johnson, I think it's going to be something more like on the ground, like, something. I mean, on the ground. I don't mean like, it will be definitely on Earth. I mean, what I'm saying is that, will be something simple, like I said, about some certain pilots or scavengers or bounty hunters or a specific group of people on a ship, mercenaries, crime syndicate. Literally, like, Star Wars universe so big that he can do anything. So when it comes to the overall story, like, wish I had to wait and see, like, until like the first details of the story come out.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I think I've heard this description before, but the Star Wars universe, it's a sandbox. It's a large sandbox with just a bunch of different aspects to play in and whatnot. And what all these directors from the upcoming slates and whatnot, like the upcoming like investors to Ryan Johnson, just like, it's endless what they can do. So hopefully they can have some fun. They can get more creative, kind of go from the George Lucas type roots, because I've talked about this before, but Star Wars is definitely a movie franchise. It's definitely cinema and whatnot. Like, definitely has a very theatrical approach, and so I definitely want to come back to those roots. And I do say that The Force Awakens definitely, the sequel trilogy definitely had a lot of that type of storytelling and whatnot. But I want there to be more of a fresh perspective in it.
That's why I agree with your point of view, Specter 7, like, definitely 100%. Which is also one more thing I just want to add is that we're gonna definitely see like completely new characters in his, if of course, if Ryan Johnson's trilogy like does happen, we're gonna definitely see the like completely new characters. I don't think we're gonna see characters that we've already seen before, or maybe taken from Legends to canon. Like, I think it's gonna be freshly like new created characters.
Yeah, exactly. As much as I love Luke, Leia, Han, C-3PO, Chewie, I definitely want to see new characters, and I guarantee we're going to see those characters again. We definitely saw, like, and by the way, I just want to lay this out. Spoilers for anything Star Wars related. I know we said that last time, but yeah, but that being said, Luke Skywalker was in The Mandalorian, which something that I could not believe that they could do, which I thought that was really cool. So to see that just kind of to see what they can do next is honestly pretty cool.
Oh yeah, like yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like that was like some really epic, like crazy moment. Like like even though a lot of us like kind of saw it, kind of in a way saw it coming, like out of all the candidates that were outside, but still his presence and the way how they delivered it, like it was simply breathtakingly like total geek out fantastic moment, like the last few minutes is simply 24 karat gold moment.
Oh no, exactly. I definitely get you on that.
Yeah, but even though I have to admit, like even though like if we ever gonna see them again, like I'm telling you, like the only way we will see the characters again is if either two ways, actually, two ways. With the exception actually of Mark Hamill, like if they decide to bring Luke Skywalker to Mandalorian season 3, then maybe like they could kind of like ask him if he can come back again. But when it comes to other characters, like we will either see them two ways, either in comic books or animation, and
Yeah,
that's it.
except C-3PO and R2-D2. Like I think we're definitely going to see Anthony Daniels in Star Wars droids. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And
After all, we have the a droid story project.
yeah, oh, a droid story. That's what I meant. I confused it with the 80s cartoon. By
Yeah.
the way, they need to like bring that to like Disney Plus or like on a box set or something like that, because that would be I I kind of want to watch that. I really want to watch that actually.
Yeah, because the thing is, right now, the theory is because some people are saying that this is going to be a TV show, and some of them people are saying this could be a movie.
Yeah.
So, like, look, if this is a movie, and even though it's going to be like more for kids, I would like screw this. I'm gonna watch this in the theater.
I mean, anything that comes out that's Star Wars related, that it's gonna be in the movie theater, sign me up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
By the way, speaking of Star Wars, so overall, I think we said everything about when it comes to Ryan Johnson's trilogy, our own personal thoughts and all that. So, what about if we go to, I don't know, yeah,
Yeah.
you have behind your back and all that, like Star Wars merchandise,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. Oh my god! When it comes to all types of like Star Wars fandom, of course, one of the types that binds us all together, of course, is Star Wars
Merchandise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things, like from figurines to simple stickers to hats like mine,
Yeah.
toys like yours, models like the list goes on and on.
Oh, I know. Like you can have Star Wars merchandise basically out of anything. It's such a phenomenon to the point where it can it can blow up. Like Star Wars is just like nothing that the eye has ever really seen before, because
Hell,
we've seen, yeah, like in the 70s and whatnot, before Star Wars, we've seen your typical like franchises, and they came out with action figures. Not
like
there's just
Star
nothing.
Wars merchandise.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I was trying to say is that the Star Wars merchandise is so powerful that they like that even having a freaking mug is like just like even having a freaking mug, like even that, like just simply overhypes you, like to have it, like even though it's just a simple mug, you're like, I must have it, I must have it.
Yeah, it's the simplest stuff. So Alan, as a kid, what did you like? What did you have that was Star Wars merchandise? Like, what would you remember specifically?
Wow. Well, it's really sad. Like I really can't show you right now, but like one of the things I'm really proud of, and trust me, it really cost me a fortune, especially where I am now, to get, is the like figurines, like the actual, like, I mean, sometimes really confused me, like the action figures and figurines, like it always confused me that. But basically, I have like, yeah, figurines, you would call them, right?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
So I collected the Black Series of figurines of Sith Lords.
Oh, wow.
And trust me, to get all of them, of course, they're available, of course, and made. To get all of them, trust me, it cost me a freaking fortune to get them. And I mean, I have everything. And I will tell you this. The most difficult one of all of them to get. I'll be honest. The most difficult one to get was actually Darth Plagueis.
The lies.
Exactly. Darth Plagueis, the wise. Exactly. So, like, basically, he was the most difficult one to get, because I do know that there were some kind of, I don't want to say controversies, but there were some, like, things behind the scenes when it comes to his figurine. So he was, like, the most difficult one to get. But the other ones, like, like I said, I got them all, like, from Darth Bane to Darth Nihilus to Darth, like, Malak to Darth Zana, Darth Vader, Maul, Count Dooku. Like, I got all of them. And, like, and all of them are in my cupboard for, like, Star Wars collection in my room. Like, I'm really sorry I can't show you right now because I'm like, right now I'm down here.
Yeah.
So, but besides that, I have like a really also big collection of Star Wars shirts, including Star Wars hats. It's a real shame that I don't have Star Wars pants. I mean, like, if there are any, I would wear them. What's that? So, so that's definitely no. But the one thing I'm trying to get, and it's a real shame because, I've seen a lot of people, collecting like, those Black Series and even like those to construct, lightsabers. And I really want to have, not all of them, just a few, but trust me, where I am right now in the country where I live, and to like basically order them all the way from America here, trust me, it costs me a freaking fortune. So that is a bummer, and also one of the things I'm also trying to get is the Black Series helmets.
Those look cool. I'm specifically eyeing the X-wing helmets.
Oh, yeah. But I will tell you this, when it comes to like Lego, like, because you're a big fan of Lego.
Oh, I love Lego. I got back into it about 2.5 years ago. Like literally, it was just like it was just kind of a bad day, and I'm like, huh, I kind of want to play with the toy, and then I'm like, oh hey, like I got the 2017, I think 2017 2018 from the Last Jedi, the Dagobah.
Yeah. Oh my God! Like, I will tell you this, my background with when it comes to Lego in general was like, and I'm not kidding you, like, was with Lego Pirates. That was my first ever kind of like quote unquote contact with Lego. Like, I mean, I used to have, like, I still have them, like, in my room, like the two Lego pirate ships that I like, that I constructed them like together alone. And, of course, I don't use them, for play, I just simply have them as a collector's item because I built that with my own little hands. Well, they're not quite little now.
Yeah.
Anyway, like, that was my first like contact when it comes to Lego, when it comes, through pirates. But then later on, as I discovered, Star Wars, I would say this, like, I was more into Lego characters than actual, like,
I love the minifigures because it's just like, come on, you can't not like look away from a minifigure. Like, on Instagram, I follow like minifigure like accounts. Like, they would just make custom minifigures and whatnot, and like they would take like specific parts, and like they would do this with like Star Wars, and just it was really cool what they could do with it.
Yeah. I will tell you this, like, one of the crazy things I remember is that one of my friends, it was like actually a few years ago, he basically got for his birthday or Christmas, I'm not quite sure, but anyway, one of those events, he got, as a gift, he got an actual Death Star, Lego Death Star. And I will never forget that day because we built a Death Star together. And it was like so much fun. Not to mention also irritating when it comes to all the pieces and all that. Like, trust me, we like there were some moments where we actually fight. We actually fought. Like, no, like that piece is not going there. No, it's like going here. Why, you're so stupid. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, no. Like, trust me, this is just a taste because, trust me, from, like, his parents were, like, witnesses because they could hear us from his room. Like, we were, like, swearing as crazy as we were. Like, we were swearing, we were saying F-bombs, we were saying, words like shit, you fool, you son of a bat. Because as well as everyone else, the Death Star is so many different pieces.
Oh, I know.
And god damn it, it was so irritating to build it. And at the end, we were sweating, we were red with anger and exhaustion. That when we built the Death Star, we literally put it not on the shelf. We put it on the ground. And he also got this like cube made of glass, and we literally put the cube on it, so that no one can, not only when just if you simple push destroy it, but also no one can go near it. And when we do that, the last thing I remember, we dropped asleep on the floor.
Well, that definitely sounds like an experience.
I mean, we built it. I mean, we built the freaking Lego Death Star. We built it for hours, and I think altogether it was it was 4 to 5 hours.
That's a lot. Well, me, when I'm building Legos and whatnot, I usually go an hour or two. I built sometimes with the bigger sets or even smaller sets, I go kind of I definitely take my time on it because I don't want it to take up all my energy. I do have little building sessions that I'll be up till 1, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning.
Trust me, when it comes to the Death Star, because usually, the guy, he collects, he has the Death Star. He also has a Lego, I think you want to mention me that he also has a Lego Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. A Lego Star Destroyer. He also has a TIE Fighter. And he's also trying to get a Lego Starkiller base. Is that being made?
A Lego what?
A Lego Starkiller base.
No, actually, but now that I think about it, I'm wondering how they could do that. That would be interesting. Maybe. I'm just trying to figure. Maybe they can. It would be neat to maybe have it as kind of 2 different sets in a way. One could be the actual planet, and then the other could be kind of a play set for the kids or something like that, kind of show inside the base.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, maybe just simply mention that as a wish list, to get the Lego, Starkiller base, which just like you, even I'm wondering, how the hell are they gonna do that?
Yeah, exactly. It took me a minute,
yeah,
hey, it's a planet, but it's definitely a cool like itself, like I'm surprised it hasn't been like as a toy or anything like that. Like that would be a neat toy. But like if I was a kid, I'd be playing with that. Who am I kidding? I'm 21 years old and I'd be playing with that right now.
I'm freaking 25 years old and I still will be playing with that. Like, I'm like, like I don't care how old I am. The most important thing is the child inside all of us.
Oh, I know. You just gotta have fun because, I'm not trying to get like too preachy or anything like that, but this world, it's not very friendly. So you gotta have, fun as much as you can.
Yeah, you have to have, your toys, your Lego sets, and all that, like, to keep you comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. This is just how you and I cope. Like,
yeah. One of the crazy things I also want to tell you is that when it comes to Star Wars merchandise, I also collected and I'm not kidding you, collected all Lego Star Wars video games.
oh yeah, you did tell me about that.
I like from the very first one they did, which was Lego Star Wars back then only known. Lego Star Wars the video game, which basically was the prequels together. And then I did the original trilogy, and then of course we had the complete saga, piece by piece. And now I will even tell you right now, I pre-ordered Lego Star Wars the Skywalker saga. Like I pre-ordered the game for PS4, and I really can't freaking wait to play it. Like this game is gonna have over 300 characters in it. And not to mention, we're gonna go through all the 9 movies. Like I was like, this is gonna be so amazing. Wow.
Yeah, I'm pumped for it. Honestly, I'm just.
Yeah.
I am. I think I might get it itself. I haven't pre-ordered it. I usually don't really pre-order. I just wait. But I got it. Like I was looking at like some of it. Like there's like some like special editions and whatnot, and I'm like, that sounds cool. I grew up like you. I actually did grow up with it too. Like I grew. I kind of. It's funny. I kind of played those games like kind of like in chronological order. Like I played like the prequels game first, and then the original trilogy, and then I did all 6 games. I didn't. My brother had an Xbox, and like a few months ago, I was playing like a little bit of the Force Awakens game though. But his controller, it's just like it was really odd. Like just like kind of the controls and whatnot. I'm not really used to the Xbox too, but I'm gonna get this Switch game on the Switch, so that hopefully I can have fun with it. I'm probably gonna like get a few friends together, do like an all night like gaming marathon or something like that, or maybe at least till like 1-2 o'clock in the morning, and then yeah. Oh
Yeah.
hey, no, I just wanted to say, I don't know if you want to say anything else. If you do, go ahead. But I wanted to go through my kind of what I was thinking of real quick.
Oh, trust me, like all the stories that you told me about your merchandise, I really can't wait to hear. Like, I just wanted to say like a few things, like, just a few things, then I will listen to your personal Star Wars merchandise collection. But right now, like I said, you played the Star Wars video games, the Lego Star Wars video games chronologically. Me personally, in the Lego Star Wars video games, it was the opposite. I played the first one I played was Lego Star Wars 2, which was the original trilogy. Then I played the prequels, and then the rest. When it comes to Lego Clone Wars, the complete saga, Force Awakens.
Oh, I forgot about Clone Wars. I actually did own that on Wii. Like I think I got it when I was like 13, 14 years old, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, oh my God, like that, and also, like it was so like Oh my God, the Lego video games in general, for me are so creative and so amazing. I mean, like one of my favorite games outside Star Wars when it comes to Lego, one of my favorite ones they did, and I think it came out like I think like 2 years ago. It was Lego DC Villains. That game was fantastic. Like I love that game. Like and not to mention that we got an amazing voice actors. Like for example, Michael Ironside voicing Darkseid again, or for example Mark Hamill as the Joker. Like not just simply through that. This is just tip of the iceberg,
Yeah.
but also the amazing big library of villains that were in it, and also not to mention the storyline, the special missions. Then the game was amazing, like so overall. I just want to say in general, Lego video games for me personally are amazing, and I will play them until the end of my days, like because I love that type of video games. That oh my God. So and also the last thing, you could also say that that is merchandise as well, if you can count it. I also have, Star Wars comic books and books, books from canon and legends. I mean, I don't have all of them, but, the majority of them I do possess. And like my favorite ones will always be when it comes to legends, the Thrawn trilogy, the Darth Bane trilogy, and not to mention, of course, the Darth Plagueis novel. Like, those three stories for me will always be one of my favorites, with alongside, as a bonus, the Legacy of the Force with Darth Caedus, aka Jaina Solo, and that storyline. Through that, and also, I mean, the Thrawn trilogy of Legends, I still gonna love forever. But I will say this, like, I also even like the Thrawn canon trilogy. The only problem I have with those books is they're freaking big. That's the only problem I have with the books, with those books. And also I do possess Ahsoka, the Captain Phasma book as well. What was the one where? Oh yeah, Star Wars: A New Dawn, which basically tells you the story of how Hera Syndulla and Kanan met. It's a really good story. Like you should really try it. You should really read it. That and of course, So for that, yeah, that's all my Star Wars merchandise I have. Like from the figurines of the Sith Lords to Lego video games, Lego figurines, the books and comic books. Right now, my target is to get my hands on few Black Series lightsabers and the helmets.
Yeah.
Like, even though I know those helmets and lightsabers will cost me a fortune, but at least, just for now, like one or two lightsabers or helmets, like at least that as a start.
Oh no, I definitely get you there. And that's what I kind of will tie. So, well, like I said before, I kind of grew up with Star Wars, like kind of on and off, but I do remember some vivid stuff. So for starters, I got a lot of the Hasbro, like 6-inch action figures. Like I would get like little packs of them, and I just play with them. I would switch around like the heads and whatnot for some reason. Like I was a weird kid. I would just like switch around the heads and whatnot. I don't know why. I'm kind of mad at myself for doing so. Oh, hey, this character will look good on this. This character's head will look good on this body. Like, just like, what the heck? Like,
I used to do the same shit. I mean, sometimes I used to like change the head of like Darth Vader, like for example, with the mutilated one, with like Anakin Skywalker, face on it, like basically, having because I always felt like Darth Vader, like at least now he looks a little more handsome,
that makes sense, though. That makes sense. Like, I would have like Obi-Wan on like, I don't know. I think I did have like a Ahsoka. Yeah, I did have an Ahsoka action figure.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This was it was the Clone Wars and whatnot. I remember having that stuff. Also, like with like my brother and my friends and whatnot. I would have like lightsaber duels, like like every kid would have like the pop-up lightsabers. Like
Yeah.
they were pop-up, they were electronic. They don't really have them as much anymore, but they were the coolest things. They would light up, have all these effects and whatnot, and that kind of ties into what I want, like you want. But recently I actually got like I think it was like $6. I got a Kanan Jarrus kind of like toy lightsaber. It's kind of different because the older ones kind of you would have to like push a button to like and then you would pop it out. This one you just flat out like whip it and then it just comes out, which it's pretty
Yeah, I get you, I get you.
and a few friends of mine like they picked me up like they were battling and you know who I'm talking about. They were battling literally in front of my house. One of them had a Luke Skywalker, the other one had a Darth Vader. I'm like, and then they like were playing like the Duel of Fates. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like, oh, playing lightsabers. Hey, do you have one? I'm like, no. And then like, you want one? I'm like, yeah. So they took me to Target. I bought one. I bought the Kanan Jarrus one. By the way, this one's pretty cool. This one's pretty cool. You know, I wish I can take the top, this part off right here, kind of like he has in the show.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my God, they'll be so great. Just like in this, just like I said, just like in the Star Wars Rebels TV
Yeah.
show. Like basically, taking the lightsaber, putting it together, and then just be. Oh, it'll be so amazing. But
Yeah,
also, one thing I just want to tell you is when we talk about switching heads on Lego figurines, like oh my God, I do remember because I also possess a Lego version of Count Dooku. But as you've seen, like through the years, the versions of his head, changed.
yeah.
So I actually possess the original version of Count Dooku's head.
Oh,
You-
okay, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, the one that looked a little bit like older version of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what I would have done is basically, because back then I didn't have an older version of Obi-Wan Kenobi. So what I would have done, I would basically take Count Dooku's head and put it on a younger Obi-Wan and basically making like an older version of Obi-Wan. But that also a crazy thing. I also always love to put Palpatine's head on Yoda's body.
That would be funny.
Oh my God. And I never understood why, but I always like changed heads of Padme and put it on Ahsoka's body. I never knew why.
Hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what else I had and I currently have. I know I went crazy when The Force Awakens came out. Like before like I in school I was kind of like an undercover geek. Like I was kind of afraid what everybody would think of me. And then I realized I just needed to embrace myself. And so I just went crazy with getting all these Star Wars and comic book shirts. Like, and I can't even tell you, like, I'm wearing a Captain America. I should have found a Star Wars shirt, but literally, I can't even count how many shirts I have of a fictional character. Like, it's ridiculous.
Just simply like when it comes to Star Wars, like my shirts are like I have few with Darth Vader on, I have few with Palpatine, I have one with Maul, I have one with Snoke, I have one with the symbol of the Republic, of the Jedi Order, the Sith Order, the Galactic Empire. Like so many characters and symbols of Star Wars I have like as shirts. Like it's really crazy. I will even say to you, I even put it on a shirt, on a black shirt. I have even put uh, I even put like the Jedi and the Sith rules. That speech.
Yeah,
Each
yeah.
side
There is no like how does it go?
Which one, the Jedi or the Sith?
Let's do the Jedi.
Let me just remember. 50, 50. Ooh. What was it? Oh my God! Like, Oh, I really can't. Really can't remember right now. Like, what was the Jedi Order speech? Oh, for crying out loud! Like, I really can't remember right now.
Jedi. Okay, here's one. Okay, let me see if it can. Okay. Oh, I have the Sith and the Jedi, so I'll pull it up. There is no emotion. There is peace. There's no ignorance. There is knowledge. There is no passion. There is serenity. There is no chaos. There is harmony. There is no death. There is the Force. And then the Sith.
Can I do the Sith?
Yeah.
Okay, you did the Jedi, and of course, for me is the honor for the Sith.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so the Sith code, it's a code, not a speech. Okay, so the Sith are, I will never forget this, like, peace is a lie. There's only passion. Through passion, I gain strength. Through strength, I gain power. Through power, I gain victory. And through victory, my chains are broken. The Force shall free me. Oh my God, like, that speech is just simply, like, in a way, magnificent and in a way, inspiring.
Yeah. Yeah, Seth. Yeah.
I'm like, and I do even have. Do you want to hear the Gray Jedi code?
Yeah, go to Gray Jedi. By the way, I just wanted to mention this. I don't know if we talked about this, but Freddie Prinze Jr., Kanan Jarrus,
Oh my God,
a podcast. I think he's a Star Wars fan. He went on a kind of a tangent on kind of fanboys of Star Wars, which I agree with. I laugh at, and some of it I don't really agree with, but I still like his passion in that. Like,
definitely. Like, I really love his energy and the way how he described things, though, as an actual complete fanboy. But there's a lot of things he said that I disagree.
Yeah, like he was saying, like it's for children and stuff like that. I agree with that statement for an extent, mostly because I'm a little bit biased. We're both pretty much biased. Star Wars is for everybody. It's like I said in my last, it no matter where you come from, no matter what your background is, like there is something in Star Wars for everybody.
Oh yeah, definitely. So now let me read you the Gray Jedi code, or just the Gray code, whatever.
Yeah, but oh, by the way, I just wanted to tie that into what I was gonna say. He was basically saying that Gray Jedi like don't exist.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. What he said. That part, I will tell you this. That part I disagree, because there are some characters that we can categorize them as the Gray Jedi. I mean, an example, Qui-Gon Jinn is also categorized as a Gray Jedi.
Yeah, even though he's kind of in the order. I do categorize that some characters more, like we were talking about this. We were talking about the character of Bendu from Star Wars Rebels. And I would kind of made an assumption. I call them Bendu warriors.
Yeah, but they're not Bendu warriors. They're called something like this. They're called like by another name. Because I mean, he's known as the Bendu, but the basically the ancient, like, tribe in a way. I know there's another name.
Yeah.
but I can't get it right now.
Well,
But also, you know, there's another character that I categorize now as a great Jedi, and that is Ahsoka Tano.
oh, obviously, I would see more Ahsoka kind of as like you know how there's the samurai,
Mm-hmm.
like they have more like of an honor code. I see Ahsoka more as a Ronin, like a rogue samurai.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I mean, seriously, just listen to, like, you know, the great Jedi code. Like, you know, just listen. Like, there is no dark side nor a light side. There's only the Force. I will do what I must to keep the balance. There is no good without evil, but evil must not be allowed to flourish. There is passion, yet peace. There is serenity, yet emotion. There is chaos, yet order. I mean,
That is definitely neutral. Oh, by the way, this ties into what we wanted to talk about.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wanted to talk more about merchandise, but maybe we can go. I think I maybe talked about everything other than maybe I said I really want like an Ultra Saber or whatnot.
Hmm. I agree. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Like, you know, because we actually talked about this before. Like, you know, the only one like ultra lightsaber that actually I want to have is the Darth Malgus lightsaber from the Old Republic. Like, that's the only one I want to have, you know, when it comes to, you know, actually fight,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, of course, there are other like lightsabers, you know, Darth Bane, Darth Revan, Obi-Wan, Luke, you know, and all that. But I want Darth Malgus because there's something about his version of his lightsaber, like but when it comes to his own version, that I always find in a very, you know, in a way unique. You know, even though you know a lot of lightsabers, you know, they had this kind of typical style, you know, but there's something about that lightsaber that I really want to have it. You know, if I have to, like, you know, challenge somebody into a quote unquote duel.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, I was looking at like I'm green is my favorite lightsaber color, and I was looking at either Ezra Bridger's or Luke Skywalker's lightsaber.
Yeah.
And I literally was thinking about this. I don't know if you looked at videos of this, but Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disney World has
Yeah.
um, has a interactive experience where visitors can pay a fee to build their own lightsaber, and it's kind of like there's people around them that kind of give help out and whatnot, and it's definitely like it has its own little story to it. Like I looked at like Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. This looks incredible, and one day I want to go down there. Like there's no doubt that I will visit this place.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
like I was looking at these lightsabers and they look pretty cool and they look battle ready, and I'm like, I really want one of these. Why can't they sell them to the public? Like,
Well, because, you know, you have to also understand, you know, they want to make Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, you know, as a very special place, you know, for a very special moment, or even as a very special event. So when you go there and kind of, well, in a way, kind of build your own lightsaber in a way, like, you know, they wanted they really wanted to make it special, even though the price is like really like sky high, you
yeah,
know,
I
when
think
it
it's
comes
like around 200 American dollars. I don't know how you would categorize it in
in Kunas.
ratio with euros.
Oh, well, I can't, I don't know how I can categorize it in euros, but I can categorize in kuna because that's our money value.
Oh, I thought yours was euros.
No, 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 euros will not come here yet, but they're planning to come in 2023.
Oh, I think you told me about that.
Yeah. So in kunas, which, like I say, it's our money. It will be, for example, let's just say that it's $200 to build a lightsaber. So the price in kunas will be around 1,200 kunas.
Okay,
And trust me, here that's a lot of money.
that's That definitely does seem like a lot.
Like my mother would literally have a stroke when she find out how much I spend for a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just like you, Peyton, even I, if I ever come to America, I really want to visit Galaxy's Edge. I really want to go there.
Yeah, I definitely I definitely don't blame you there. It seems like a cool place, and I definitely like, and like the kyber crystals are cool. Like you can switch it out and whatnot, and
Oh yeah,
it definitely seems a long way from this.
Look, at least you have that, so be happy.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, wait, you don't? They don't sell these in Croatia?
Not as much,
Alpha.
I mean, like, when it comes to Star Wars, when it comes to like actual toys or something, like they rather sell like actual figurines and Lego sets than this, but there are some like particular toy stores where you can find an actual lightsaber like that, But
Yeah.
every single time when I see this, I'm like, I really want to have the real thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't blame you. I really wanted this just to fight with my friends, but yeah, but oh, speaking of lightsabers, even though we kind of went into Jedi code, let's kind of circle back to the Jedi, the Sith, and just kind of the dynamic.
Okay, so is that all about when it comes to your merchandise tour of Star Wars?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, I have some Kenner toys. Like I had that AT-AT, I had that Millennium Falcon that I showed. I got it as like a gift from um from somebody that I knew. Um, and I had some like really cool Kenner like action figures. I'll definitely have to show you sometime because they're really cool. And I kept like collecting ships. Like I have an X-wing, like
Yeah.
right over there. And like I said, I got Legos. Like I can't even. I think I probably have like maybe 10 Lego sets. Like I have a shelf right now of just like Lego sets. So maybe as like an exclusive to the fans one day, I'll have to show off my Star Wars merchandise collection, and maybe if you want to, you can do the same.
You can basically take a camera off your shoulder and basically have the entire tour of your room and show
It
like
could be a Patreon exclusive. Like literally, just like if you're a Patreon member, we'll give you exclusive look at our merchandise that literally you can just look up on the internet.
All right. Hell yeah. Oh my god. But speaking of like, from merchandise, the way how we landed on the Jedi and Sith, like I really like the way how you and I always talk about those two sides of every coin. Like, even though, I mean, of course, like I said, there's so many, like, when it comes to, like, there's so many Force users, of course, people who are outside, the Jedi and the Sith. But on this particular occasion, like, as well as well as I do, like, I am the Sith Order all the way, and you, I suppose, of course, you are a member of the Jedi Order.
Yeah, well, I'm more like the plucky rebel that has the Force powers. Well, that does have the Force powers. I'm sorry, that kind of sounded incorrect. Possesses the Force because the Force isn't a power; it's a energy that surrounds us, penetrates us, it binds everything together. And well, I didn't really quote that correctly, but you get the picture. But yeah, it's I definitely do see like I definitely do have like those ideals, kind of. Like I would just be like, like I want to be a Jedi, like,
Oh
and
my God.
it's really cool. And the thing about both the Jedi Order and the Sith Order is that even though it's clearly like bad guy, good guy, whatnot, there's a lot of kind of like a gray area. And I'm not talking about the gray Jedi, but I'm talking about like you can have like some legit um you can have some like people like either switch over or even just some sketchy people on either the Jedi side or somebody who is definitely has good motives but isn't kind of going down the right path. It's kind of how we talk about comic book characters and talk
Mhm.
about superheroes and supervillains and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, like, you also have to remember, like I said, like I said, not just the Jedi and the Sith, but like I said, there are also so many different, like, Force users out there. Like, you also, I mean, I don't know if they're introduced in canon, but for example, in Legends, there was another rank that's called the Dark Jedi. You know, and of course, also we have the Gray Jedi, or AKA the Bendu. How that, from the character of Star Wars Rebels. Like, there's so many different Force users. Even though Dark Jedi is not categorized as officially a Sith, because he's not like 100% in it. You know, but basically, like, out of all of them, I agree with you. Like, Jedi or Sith, like, for me, I always told you that the worst villains are the ones who see themselves as the heroes of their own stories.
Yeah.
You know, because those are the type of villains that basically they have nothing to lose.
Yeah, like you can I'm thinking more about comic book characters. And I'm trying to think of a character, a Sith character that you can. Well, you're the expert. Tell me, like, who would you think is would you categorize as like the character that has nothing to lose, that sees himself as the hero?
Oh my God! When it comes to Sith Order, like, I mean, okay, all this kind of villains, like I said, like all the kind of villains when it comes to Sith Order, all of them are from Legends. Like in canon, we unfortunately we didn't have a Sith Lord that actually kind of sees himself as a hero. So like, I mean, I do have actually a few. I do have, like, few actually who kind of see themselves as heroes. Like, for example, one of them. I mean, I will say this, like, how can I put this? Like, I mean, she's more of a, like, a, what's the word? Like, okay, first of like my first example is Darth Treya, for example.
Yeah, you told me about her.
Yeah. So basically, even though when it comes to what kind of type of villain she is, you can kind of categorize her as like a manipulative nihilist. But in the same time, like, basically, like, even though she's officially a Sith Lord, or more a Sith lady, like, she not just simply that she wanted to destroy the Jedi Council, but also she wanted to destroy the Sith as well, because her official goal in the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the second game, when you battle against her on Malachor, her ultimate goal was basically to destroy the Force. That was basically her ultimate goal. Because because the main reason is because like she went through, like, for her entire life, she went through some really nasty things, and she basically seen that both sides are flawed, and basically for that, her ultimate goal became to destroy the Force. Then later on, then after her, also we have another other, like, like I said, other Sith Lords who, I don't know if I can actually categorize him as a kind of like a hero of his own story, because like, but yeah, I could kind of see him as well. Is basically, well, okay, well, he's more of a tragic fallen hero. But for example, Darth Caedus,
Yeah.
the Legends version of Kylo Ren. You know, we're forcing in Legends. Everyone knows that
Oh
Darth
yeah,
Caedus.
Jason Solo.
Yeah, exactly. In Legends, his real name is Jason Solo, and just like Kylo Ren did, he followed in his grandfather's footsteps. For Darth Vader's footsteps. Even though the way how he, even though there were some inspirations that he took away from Darth Sidious as well, but basically, his own ultimate goals. Because one of the things one of his like personal goals were always to protect his family. You know, and basically try to bring like real balance to the force. Because like I said, as a type of villain, he's basically a tragic fallen hero. You know,
Yeah.
so even him, yeah, you better say even he as a villain, he was one of those like who sees himself as a hero, in a way. Because usually, like all the type of Sith lords, like they all have very selfish goals. Like for example, like the Sith Emperor from Legends, who had many different like forms, like from Tenebros all the way to Valkorion, like the Sith Emperor. Basically his goal was to live, for all eternity. He wanted and basically to create his own empire. Darth Maul wanted to do the same thing. Like he wanted to basically to destroy the Sith Order and basically proclaim himself, like a Napoleon way as the Emperor, the new Sith Emperor. That's actually one of the reasons why Darth Maul was known as the False Emperor.
Yeah.
Or even another example, who else? Like, yeah, I mean, or like, yeah. Okay, for another example, Darth Krayt from Star Wars Legacy storyline. He basically wanted to bring another, Galactic Empire back. Which is again another selfish goal. Like even like if I have to go even with Darth Bane, like he basically wanted to destroy the Jedi, but basically even again like when he knew that when the Sith Master has like multiple apprentices, that he that they know instead of like overthrowing the Jedi, they will basically go around killing each other, because as you all know, because as you know, the Sith Master is the one who has the power, and the apprentice is the one who craves it.
Yeah.
So basically, through that, I mean, I don't know if I want to spoil about when it comes to the books of Darth Bane. I don't know if you want to be spoiled.
Maybe keep that like a mystery, and maybe not just for me, but for just in case our audience, like some of our audience, hasn't like got deep into Legends.
Okay, because like everyone who's in Star Wars Legends will know what Darth Bane did. But again, even that was like basically, even though his plan involves around the creation of Rule 2, which of course we all know, even in canon, that Darth Bane is the creator of Rule 2.
Yeah.
Like even with Darth Plagueis, with the midichlorians using the Force to create life, even that was in a way like a selfish reason. So through like the Sith, through like the entire like history of the Sith, especially mostly in Legends, most of them had selfish reasons. So Darth Traya and Darth Caedus are more like few exceptions in a way.
Yeah, exactly. And I kind of wanted to tie into my perspective of kind of the Jedi Order. Basically around the Clone Wars and before Order 66. And I'm talking more about like how the Jedi Order was very limited and very corrupted by the war that was going on, and it was more like kind of a political and kind of like and something that kind of had selfish reasons. And you can see throughout these movies that the Jedi, excuse my language, but to quote I think Chris Pratt from Guardians of the Galaxy, they had sticks up their butts.
True. In a way.
It's just they have this very limited mindset, and as things have like kind of gone like downhill and etc. They had this mindset like they would like go against one of their own, Ahsoka Tano. I You and I have talked about this. We were talking about the final arc before the Netflix season of Clone Wars, as well as season 7, basically before the show got canceled. And it was kind of in this arc, especially the end, it was very somber, but it was kind of beautiful to see how it ended. But it showed that Ahsoka Tano, one of their own, like basically how the Jedi Order would kind of, and I think that they do had a plan. But if anybody isn't familiar with this arc, basically, I'm trying to put it into full perspective because I haven't watched this in like over a year. But basically, Ahsoka Tano is trying to find a mystery. It is trying to find the suspect, and basically is I think who was she supposedly force choking.
You mean who was force choking who?
Okay, so Bears. Oh, by the way, spoilers, obviously.
Okay.
But Bears Opie. When Ahsoka went into that cell, Bears Opie was force choking the prisoner that was in there. That was a part of this whole conspiracy.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
And Ahsoka had to go on the run. Who was that? Do you remember?
Oh God, what was his name? Oh my God. I really can't remember who it was. I can't remember the character's name, But yeah, I know that she was behind, like, I know that she was choking. I know that Barris was the one responsible for choking him, but who it was? Oh my God, I really can't remember who it was.
Yeah. But essentially, it kind of goes into like kind of a whole, like a whole conspiracy and against Ahsoka. Ahsoka has to be forced to go on the run, and it's kind of interesting to see the Jedi's point of view. And Anakin is the only one that's really on her side. Even Obi-Wan, who is very omniscient at times, is still kind of like. And then
I mean, to kind of prove you, like I said, like you and I know that one of the reasons why the Jedi fell is because of they were really close-minded.
Yeah.
They weren't open to different opinions, suggestions, or possibilities. For example, you and I, are into the High Republic.
Yeah.
And you can definitely see a difference when it comes to the mentality of the Jedi back then and during the prequels.
Yeah, exactly.
They were more open-minded. They were they were ready to risk a lot of things, exploring, discovering, and so like though like if the Jedi from the Republic in the prequels, if they were when it comes to their mentality, if they were like thinking like that, like they did in the High Republic, I'm telling you right now, like they will not fall. The Republic will still continue, as the way it should have been.
I get you there. I actually did some research, and like they were actually like they were like very free. They were like I think they would actually allow to have like romantic interests and whatnot. Like they were very open when it came to certain aspects and whatnot.
Exactly. Yeah, they were permitted to have they were permitted. If you remember correctly, they were permitted to have lovers, and they were permitted to have like husbands and wives.
Yeah.
They were permitted to have, So like back in the old days that was permitted, and then like during something like that was not like allowed anymore, so basically just simply through that as a simple example, like you said, just simply show you how close-minded and in a way, I'm not gonna say arrogant, but ignorant the Jedi were.
Yeah,
Back.
exactly. And that's what it ties into two of my points. One, it ties into Ahsoka Tano and kind of her optimism at the time, where even though she still was on the fence, she was always a Jedi through and through, had more Jedi morals than anybody else in the order at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very fascinating to see. And then the other, Luke Skywalker, which we talk about The Last Jedi and how it was a universally beloved movie. In all seriousness, though, like probably one of the most controversial aspects. I get maybe Canto Bite or something like that. I liked Canto Bite, but I see why people didn't like it. But this just kind of ticked me off a little bit. How people were crapping on this. Like Luke Skywalker kind of being grumpy. Oh, just they were making fun of him, like being, oh, like this happened. Well, like I'm running away from like everything I known, and like, okay, to kind of put it in this perspective of what happened there. Luke Skywalker, he thought he failed, and the fact that he he almost killed his nephew. I see at the time why he wanted to do so. I feel like if he can prevent another Vader, but then he realized, you know what? I don't think he had the potential. And then he realized, oh, he was the benefactor of what happened, which is kind of a completely different conversation there. But it kind of ties into, his character and how he thinks, because he literally mentioned Order 66 and how the Jedi fell and was talking, it's time for the Jedi to end, and thinking, oh, this, like, they just got themselves into some serious stuff and whatnot. And the purpose of a Jedi is to be the keepers of the peace.
Not
That's what I love about the Jedi. They are the keepers of the peace. And when the only reason they have their lightsabers and the only reason that they are in combat is to make sure that whatever happens, like if anybody needs defense or anyone were like that, they are like on the top of their game. They are making sure that the peace is kept. And
exactly.
the specifics, exactly, yeah. And the specific scene where just it was beautiful. I wasn't like keen on it at first. I'm like, wait, what's going on there? Like, it would have been cool if he was actually battling, but like, and if you notice this with The Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker doesn't even lay a hand on Ben Solo, Kylo Ren. And what happened was he's not even there. Like his projection, that is what a Jedi does. They protect. Yeah, they protect. Like he was like doing that so the rebels had a chance. That was a beautiful moment. And anybody who says that, I'm sorry if you don't think so. But you gotta see it from the writer's point of view. That this kind of tied together the ideologies of the Jedi and Sith. And I'm sorry that this Luke Skywalker wasn't your Luke Skywalker. You know, if you want to go back to the original trilogy saying, oh, he wasn't like the hero, like there's a bunch of things that I can say, but the ideology of the Jedi way is in The Last Jedi and is in a lot of aspects in the newer content. And it is definitely expanded on in Rebels and whatnot. and the idea of the Force. And I just think the aspect of the Force and how it's mysterious and whatnot, and how people of any particular side can see it. It's definitely fascinating.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, like completely. Also, the one thing I also remember is that now, when you asked me, like, which Sith Lords, see themselves as heroes, and like, okay, this character could be debatable, but actually, who I also see, like, as a villain who sees himself as a hero, who I also see on this list,
Who?
Count Dooku.
Oh, yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, because the thing is, even though yes, he became a Sith Lord and he became the leader of the Separatist Alliance, but the thing is, like, you also have to also understand is that Count Dooku didn't know Darth Sidious's like real plan.
Yeah.
I don't think he knew, like, because if I remember correctly, only very, very, very few people knew, very few. And I don't think Count Dooku was one of them. I think, like, because the way how he sees, even though he was purely evil and a Sith Lord, like, but what I think his goal was basically to destroy the Jedi Order and basically rebuild the Republic the way how it should have been,
Yeah.
Like, because the thing is, because the one thing also people are forgetting, yes, even though Count Dooku was loyal to Sidious, Count Dooku, even still then, he wanted to destroy Sidious. He wanted to eliminate him, like, like, let me give you like a few examples.
Okay.
First example, when Count Dooku asked Obi-Wan to join him. Number one. Number two, the training of Asajj Ventress, the training of a Savage Opress. Like, those are two other examples in which, like, Count Dooku wanted to, overthrow Darth Sidious. Because like I said before, the Sith are a type of warriors who kill each other.
Yeah.
The only way you can fulfill your destiny and become a true Sith Lord is if you kill your master.
Yeah.
That's the only way, But even though Count Dooku was powerful, I do believe, like, the reason why he didn't kill him is because, first and foremost, he didn't have a worthy apprentice, and the second of all, you can definitely see he was afraid of him.
Yeah.
I mean, like, for example, when Obi-Wan and Anakin were like investigating about Sifo Dyas.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that scene with Darth Sidious and Count Dooku when Darth Sidious told him, like, like, this is not the first time you've proven to be clumsy. You know the price of failure. Like, just from a hologram, like, this guy was choking him. Like, if you screw this up, like, I'm gonna freaking kill you. Like, there's no any more place for you to fail. Like, like, and through that scene, you can definitely see, like, Count Dooku. I think he maybe shit a little bit in his pants.
Yeah, exactly. What I'm thinking of? What I think of a character that kind of has a hero's journey in a way, even though he's still a villain. Maul.
What did you say?
I said a character that kind of has a hero's journey, even though he's a villain, Darth Maul.
Oh, yeah. I can see that in a way. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, he's definitely an interesting character. He's not completely evil. He's evil, but not 100% evil. Palpatine, he's 100% evil. Maul is the product of characters around him forming him into, like, and you can say that with Palpatine, but Maul's different. And the way that he was in Rebels, his like, oh, well, I gotta fight off against the Sith. Like, and then like Ezra and was like, hey, I want to fight off against the Sith. And by the way, there's something that I like to mention. Like, I was watching Rebels, and I'm thinking, even though Ezra kind of has a bad judgment at times, I do think that, like, I do admire his quality of, like, trying to see the best in people. Like, he was that with Hondo, and I love that dynamic between him and Hondo. Like, the finale of it, like, Hondo is like there's nothing I will not do for that kid, even though he screwed over Hondo, like screwed over Ezra, would always come back to him.
I will tell you immediately when, like, the very first time he appeared in Star Wars Rebels Season 2, the very first time he appeared, I told myself and I told a lot of my friends, the relationship between Hondo Ohnaka and Ezra Bridger reminded me of Jim Hawkins and Long John Silver from Treasure Island. Like, their relationship is just like that. You know, or to make it more simply, Treasure Planet, for people who didn't read the novel.
Yeah.
When I was watching Hondo Ohnaka and Ezra Bridger together, every single episode, I was like, God damn it! It's just like Jim Hawkins and John Silver. Like, it's literally their relationship I'm seeing right now, you know. And sometimes it is just so hilarious, but at the same time, it is so in a way charming and beautiful sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. And Ezra is another, like, character that you can say that, even though it doesn't always have, like, the, his mindset can be very, I wouldn't say limited, but it definitely is a different perspective of, he wants to beat the bad guys any chance he gets, and he doesn't really see the kind of overall perspective of you have to keep the peace until probably the very end with the whole what are those space, like, whale octopi called? I know they have a name.
Well, wait, who?
What?
No, what did you say? What did you ask me?
What are the space whale octopi? The one with the hyper. The what?
The Purgles.
The Purgles. Okay. Yeah. By the way, that scene was probably one of the best scenes I've seen in Star Wars. Like, it was beautiful and just like kind of like just like how, like, he, like, sent into space and he's like, remember, the Force will be with you always. And I just got, like, I binge watched the series like a month ago or so, and I'm like, I have goosebumps. And, like, everybody who was watching it, like, what just happened? Like,
seriously, like, that scene when it was like, you know, trying to use the Force, you know, in a way so that him and Thrawn are not killed.
yeah.
You know, like, and the way I said, like you said, remember, the Force will be with you always. Like, that scene alone and the way how he said it, like, give me goosebumps. And I will tell you this, I even shed a tear. You know,
I did too. Like,
and when they disappeared, I was like, just like you, what the bloody hell just happened?
yeah, it's just like, it's the characters were, like, kind of matching up with the audience. Like,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
I'm really invested in this show because, you know, Rebels is definitely a kid's show, and at times it definitely shows, but a lot of the time it's very mature for what it's trying to be, and it has, like, a lot of, like, serious scenes and has a lot of death in it, like, just as, I mean, a little bit less than Clone Wars, but there's a huge death count in this.
Oh my God! Like one thing I can tell you right now, like my the friend that I introduced Star Wars, the Clone Wars, and Rebels. Like the Clone Wars, like he immediately said, like this show is for mature people, like
Yeah.
like teenagers and on. But Rebels, he said that he like from the very first episode he saw, like he told me a few times this show is definitely not for kids. Like even though there were some episodes that were kind of childish,
Yeah.
especially with how people will call him the Snape droid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
like it's
yeah.
AP5.
AP5. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Alan Rickman. I think we talked about him before.
yeah, like
Literally, like as
especially
soon as you hear him speak and his mannerisms and whatnot, like,
yeah.
it definitely is a tribute to Alan Rickman. Like,
I really believe that it could be possible, that this could be like a tribute. But but I'm telling you this that even though there were some episodes, especially the ones with AP5, like there were some episodes that you kind of think they're childish. But even in those episodes, there were some like mature elements. Like for example, that episode where the main villain was like this guy called the Controller, who was like who basically hacked into Chopper.
yeah,
Bloody hell, Hera destroyed and killed like people on his ship, like even like seriously, like, even the animation on his face, like white eyes, electricity everywhere, and he's like like this like I was like, dude, that is very mature and dark.
yeah. By the way, it's not very physically possible. I mean, I know
No.
he tugged up, but to have like the whole system blow up just because you have energy surging to your droid, like
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, let me tell you. Also, I just want to tell you. Like, I want to ask you. Like, I mean, like I said, my knowledge of the, when it comes to the Sith order, like for example, like what you discussed, like the Jedi who became Sith and back.
yeah,
Like there were like in Legends there were many. Like for example, I told you like Darth Treya, for example, like she was a Jedi, and then she became a Sith. Also, I mean, also the one thing, if you don't know, Treya was actually the kind of like the Jedi Master of Revan. She was also the Master of Revan when she was a Jedi. Then, of course, you also have Darth Krayt.
yeah,
You also have Darth Krayt, and he was also a Jedi. Because some people actually, when they see his backstory, they're actually confused because this guy appears like 100 years after Return of the Jedi, and yet he was present. I think like during I don't know if it was like during the Galactic Empire or during the Clone Wars. I'm not sure, but like he was like present during that particular timeline, and he met with Luke Skywalker as well. He met with him, and by the way, like his father was a Tusken Rider.
oh wow,
Yeah, he was raised by a Tusken Rider, and I don't recall like who actually was his mother. And oh, by the way, there was also a Jedi who was a Tusken Rider.
that would be so dope.
Legends, in Legends, there was a Jedi. I don't remember his name, but there was a Jedi who was a Tusken Rider, and he was a really cool character. He was a really cool character. I do remember that. And so basically, his father was a Tusken Rider, and basically, like I said, through his younger days, he lived through that era, like the Galactic Empire. I'm not sure about the Clone Wars timeline, but definitely to the Galactic Empire era. And then during one period, he basically, how can I put this? In Korriban, he went to Korriban, and he went underground, and basically, how could I put this? Like he was basically in like something like hypersleep, like frozen.
Yeah.
Like for example, the story with Walt Disney.
Oh yeah, with his head.
No, yeah, no, the cryogenic freeze, when you're like, like basically in some deep slumber.
Yeah, I know. Well, didn't they? Was it actually his whole? With Walt Disney, was it actually his whole body, or was it just his head? I heard just his head.
The way I understood, it was actually his full body,
Okay.
not his head.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, like, during the one timeline, like, basically, Darth Krayt went to Korriban, he went underground, and basically, he went into some chambers or in a liquid or something, and basically, he was, like, in some kind of cryogenic freeze, and he stayed like that for, like, 100 years, and, until one day, he woke up, and basically, even though Darth Krayt, like, he, basically, he also, even though he was still a Sith Lord, there was one thing in the Sith Order that he wanted to destroy. Because he wanted to destroy the rule of two. Because he wanted to bring the Sith Order back to his old, like, ancient days when they had, like, multiple students, they had multiple apprentices. That's why, for example, his organization was known as the One Sith. And one of the reasons why is because he one time found a holocron of Revan, where basically, even though Revan was kind of teaching that, you can train by yourself, but the reason behind the creation of the One Sith was, that, they all answer to one. Like, we are all as one, that kind of way.
Yeah.
And basically, he was basically trying to rule across this, the Sith Order through fear, in a way. Like, you are loyal to me, but at the same time, I want you to fear me as well.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and also, like, the word, like, there's a lot, like, there is a lot, like, one of my favorite Sith Lords is also Darth Nihilus, the Lord of Hunger.
Oh yeah, you told me about him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, trust me, there's so many Jedi and Sith characters, like, in Legends that I don't know if you're familiar with, but for example, going back to a little bit to the Jedi,
Yeah.
because even though I do find the Jedi Order fascinating in the overall history, but I do prefer the Sith Order because of the overall mythology and the history, and also very interesting, like I said, rituals and, like, ways of the dark side and all, etc., etc. But when it comes back to the Jedi, for example, like, I don't know. I mean, how much are you familiar with the Jedi's from Legends?
A little bit. I'm still trying to do my research on it.
Fair enough. For example, like, across, like I said, across the Legends, like I said, through the video games and the books and the novels and all that, like, there's been so many, like, really great Jedis. Like, for example, fan favorite always will be, for example, Mara Jade.
Definitely.
She started as the Emperor's Hand as a villain.
Yeah.
But then later on, I still see her as when until later on, she basically redeemed herself, met with Luke, became a couple, and and then later on, they married, and of course, she became a Jedi, and also she was one of those Jedis who wield a purple lightsaber.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, like, her character was, like, the very first time I was, introduced to her through the Legends books, I always saw her as this, like, exploring, badass, fearless, character,
Yeah.
And like everyone, a single fan, of course, I would love to see her back in canon, but like, during these days, it's very difficult to do it because, if you have to do it, I think they should have done it the same way as in Legends, like, introduce her as a villain, and then later on, basically, continue with her redemption.
Yeah, and there was definitely, like, kind of like a short gap where you could have her in, and it would be kind of hard to do because she's not in the sequel trilogy. So
yeah, I mean, like, also, I mean, are you familiar with another Jedi called, like, I would really love to see this. I would really love to see this character in canon as well, Kyle Katarn.
Oh, that's the one that I do know.
Oh my God, I love this guy. I love this character so much. Like, he is a Jedi, and at the same time, a little bit about, like, a mixture of Han Solo and Lando Calrissian personality.
Yeah, he kind of like I did a little bit of research on him. Like, I thought his character was, like, really cool. Just kind of like I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what I learned about him.
I mean, like, I mean, like the one thing. I mean, there's a lot of things like
Yeah.
when it comes to Kyle Katarn, like there's a lot of things like
He was in the video games.
yeah, he was in the video games, and also the one thing that we know about that I know about Kyle Katarn is that not only that he was a Jedi, but he was also a smuggler as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, but for example, his first big fight was what's his name? The Dark Jedi. Jarek, right. That was actually his big fight, that I do remember, because the Jarek, spoiler for anyone who doesn't know anything about Kyle Katarn, Jarek was the Dark Jedi basically who killed Kyle Katarn's father.
Huh?
Yeah. And basically, I do know that he gained his powers through the Valley of the Jedi.
Okay.
Yeah, using the Hidden Force, Nexus, which is basically this kind of like place a place which basically is very much, concentrated when it comes to the Force energy, and basically they can boost a Force user's power in a way tenfold, in a way.
Okay. He was born with the Force, though, right?
Yes, yeah, if I remember correctly, yeah, he was born as a Force user, yes.
Okay. How did he train? Did he train like under Luke?
No. He didn't train with under Luke. No. Wait a minute, who's his master? Because I do think he had a master. Just let me check because I'm not quite sure like who it was. Let me just check. Just a second. Because I do believe he had a master.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, actually, he had quite a few. And and the one thing you were right about, Peyton, is that he trained under Luke Skywalker as well.
Okay.
Yeah, he had he had 4 masters. He had Tal, he had Q-Ron, Luke Skywalker, and also Mara Jade.
Okay, so I was right there. I do remember he worked closely with Luke.
Yeah, and like I said, Kyle Katarn is those type of characters who you would really love to have a drink with.
Yeah.
He is I always say that Kyle Katarn is one of those Jedi that is one of a kind.
Definitely.
And and he's also one of the characters. Not only that he's one of my top 20 Jedi, but also this is a character that I would really love to see back to canon.
Yeah. Well, I actually have something to add that I was thinking about. Actor Zachary Levi, actually, I think he tweeted it out or something like that. He said that he would love to play Kyle Katarn in a movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Zachary Levi, oh my god, wait, just a second. Just a second, let me just see him. Oh my god, because sometimes when I forget the name, so I had to see the face of the actor. Oh my god, Zachary Levi is Kyle Katarn.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can see him.
Yeah.
I can see him in that role.
Yeah, he definitely does have that kind of smuggler personality to him. If he definitely has that fun, but at the same time, this is how I would describe Zachary Levi kind of playing some of his characters, which I kind of love. It's like he's really cool and stuff like that, but at the same time, he doesn't have all his stuff together. And the way I kind of see Kyle Katarn is I don't know if he's like this or not, but it's kind of like that kind of your boyfriend that the boyfriend that say you're the parents and the boyfriend of your daughter that is living in a van or something like that.
Honestly, Specter 7, you're really not that far.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so besides, Kyle Katarn, who is again, not only one of my top 20, but though he's in my top 10 favorite Jedi's of all time. Like, he's really a cool character.
Is he
But
in comics?
besides him, there are also other like characters, other Jedi's from Legends. Like, for example, there's what's his name? Yeah, Jax Pawan. There's Anakin Solo, Tahiri Vela, but there are two actually who are also one of my favorites, and one of them is, I don't know if you're familiar with her, Jaina Solo.
Yeah, I do.
To put it shortly, I don't want to give you any spoilers about this, but to put it shortly, Jaina Solo is the sister of Darth Kade, Jason Solo. And
I know that.
Yeah, and also one of the main characters in the Legacy of the Force storyline.
I actually watched a fan film with both of them.
Yeah, and oh my god, like, I will never forget, the last book, of the Legacy of the Force saga, and like, basically, if you like, she is the one that faces against Darth Kade. And few of my friends, like, are you sorry if I told you the information?
Not really, I kind of knew that.
Okay, because a lot of fans, especially the ones who read that storyline the first time, they thought like, that Luke Skywalker will be the one to face him. But actually, instead of putting him, they put Jaina Solo against him. He actually makes way more sense, because Darth Kade, even though Luke was his master, but Luke Skywalker, like Jason Solo, Darth Kade, and Jaina, they had a very special bond. Very special bond, like as a brother and sister. And their fight, which every single time when I read that book, like, I always imagine it. Like, not only would have been so badass seeing on the screen, but also would have been so powerful and I believe emotional if it's done right, because their battle wasn't just simply, because of the fate of the galaxy or the Republic. Like, it wasn't simply that. It was basically a fight between two siblings. It was a fight of emotions, a fight of, like, point of views, dark side versus the light. Like, there was so many, like, elements in that battle, like, I just simply can't express enough, like, and so Jaina Solo, for that Legacy of the Force, like, she became one of my favorite Jedis. Like, she really is not simply a great Jedi, but also a wonderful character. And the last one also I want to mention when it comes to Legends, actually there are two, but I'll be very quick with them. Like, one of them is, are you familiar with Koran Horn?
I want to say that sounds familiar. I'm not entirely sure, though.
He basically appeared in Legends, and he's basically like a Jedi Master, and also at the same time like a detective.
Okay.
Yeah, but especially when you see him in the cover as an older person, you can kind of see that he kind of resembles Count Dooku in a way, like, but it's a completely different character, and again, one of the most badass legends, like Jedi Knights that exists, and also the last one I want to say is Satele Shan. Like, she's a Jedi Knight from the Old Republic video games.
Okay.
Yeah. And, like, she is also one of those, like, badass, Jedi Knights, with of course, with a double lightsaber.
Oh, she is the bluish tealish kind of lightsaber, right?
Yes.
Okay, I remember from seeing from Lego sets.
Yeah, but not only that, Satele Shan, like, did you ever watch the Old Republic cinematics?
Yeah, a little.
Okay, she is the one who fought Darth Maul in the forest.
Oh, okay, I did see that.
When she was, like, through the force, like, she was basically, like, literally touching the lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like she, trust me, not only through the video games, but also, like, the overall, like, like, seriously, do me a favor and go to Wikipedia and read her biography.
Okay.
Like, she's a really, really cool character.
I definitely would imagine. I'm gonna, after talking with you, like, to the audience, I'm not really like I know my stuff when it comes to Star Wars. I'm a little iffy when it comes to Legends. Alan here, though, he is like the expert when it comes to Legends.
Okay, like like first and foremost, you know better than me that there are so many other Star Wars fans who are way more bigger, have way more bigger knowledge than me. You
Well,
know.
you're definitely like one of them. Like I'd say you're definitely on the ranks.
Well, thank you very much. You know, I'm flattered. But but also, now I'm trying to go to your territory because I
Yeah,
want to ask you about this question here because we're still not finished with the Sith Order, but I'm gonna go to the Jedi right now.
yeah,
Like one of my favorite also when it comes to canon, even though this character is a mixture, and I don't care like because a lot of people when I show them my top 20 list, they say that like take her away from that list, like she's a stupid character. Yaddle. I'm so pissed that a lot of people are not giving a shit about her because like she is a very interesting. Not only that she is a member of Yoda's race, but
yeah,
also she's a very badass Jedi Master. Because even though in canon we only have like a cameo of Yaddle, especially in the Phantom Menace, but in Legends, like you like not only you have a storyline like basically what happened with her when it comes to between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, but at the same time you also see a little bit of her backstory.
yeah.
And she is a really badass character. She like I think Yaddle does she needs this she deserves more respect.
Oh,
You
for
know,
sure.
others, like I always found, with exception, of course, with the exception of Anakin, Luke, Obi-Wan, like Ahsoka Tano, Ezra, instead of like with except those are like with those exceptions. I always also love like Jedi's Plo Koon and Shakti. Like like the one thing I really love Clone Wars is that we explore those two Jedi masters like a little bit more. You
Yeah,
know, and like I really love like Shakti and Plo Koon mostly because of their wisdom.
yeah. Oh, I definitely see there. One of my favorite Jedi actually is Kit Fisto.
Ah, yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my,
like like there's just a quality about him. What you say the je ne sais quoi? Oh wait, no, yeah, je ne sais something like that. Like just like he just has that very optimism, like not like the other Jedi, and I think we talked about this before, but he's like I don't know if I talked about this or I saw a video on this, but it's just like whenever the Jedi needs like a water or an ocean based situation, hey, Kit Fisto, do it for us.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my god! Like there's so many. Like I said, there's so many Jedi. Like I said, that they're like on my list. Let me because I have the list like right here. Like let me just a second. There it is. Because I do have the top 20 list right here. Like I said, with the exceptions like of Jedi, like Obi-Wan, Anakin, Luke, Yoda, Ezra, Ahsoka Tano, and so on and so forth. Including also Mace Windu. Like I said, I really love Shakti, Plo Koon. Also, in the same time, like even though yeah, he is in a way an asshole, but I do also love and respect Mace Windu. I still respect him.
yeah. Oh, definitely. He just has that sonority to him, and like his lightsaber, like the purple lightsaber, it is like really cool. And the fact that Sam Jackson himself like was like to George Lucas, hey, can I have a purple lightsaber? Um, Sam, I don't know if that kind of goes in. Yeah, yeah, but I want a purple lightsaber. Okay, you'll get a purple lightsaber.
Yeah, and he got it.
Exactly. It's just like aspects like that. By the way,
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to Sam Jackson for being Sam Jackson. Thank you for being Sam Jackson, Mr. Sam Jackson.
For being the badass motherfucker in the world.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And, I just wanted to say this. By the way, if any kids or anybody who doesn't like any like language or anything like that, please be warned. I don't feel like saying the F word, but like Sam Jackson, like dropping the F bomb is being like knighted by the Queen.
Oh my
I
God.
now pronounce you a mother.
I pronounce you, sir, motherfucker, Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. It's just there's just something about it. I mean, swearing, these just like I never really been the biggest fan of curse words, even though I use them myself. But just the fact that Sam Jackson just could say that, it feels like an honor. Like I saw this story that like two fans at like an airport were like cowering in the corner. I'm like, hey, is that Sam Jackson? Hey, should we go say hi, take a picture? And he's like, hey, you two mother, want a photo?
Oh my God, I heard of that. Yeah, I heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also I have to give shout out to other Jedi's on my top 20 list. With except alongside all of them I said. For example, another Jedi that for me personally, I really liked is Luminara Unduli.
Oh yeah.
Like she's also one of those Jedi Knights, Jedi Masters that that really got my attention. Like I said, she's one of those Jedi that in Attack of the Clones we had glimpses, bits and pieces of her. Like very like cameo style. But in Clone Wars, what we got with her, like she was really one of the most interesting Jedi Masters I've seen, and also. Another Jedi that I really have to give shout out, especially, playing the one and only Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So all of you guys know which Jedi I'm talking about. Cal.
Yeah.
Like playing that game, like she also became one of my favorite, Jedis as well,
Yeah,
And
I
also,
watch cutscenes, and I'm not much of a video game player, but I've watched cutscenes, and I'm telling you, he's dope.
yeah. And also I have to say another Jedi Master, or in this case, let's just say Jedi Knight, that is also dope, is through the Star Wars The High Republic
Oh
era.
yeah.
And that is Avar Kriss. Like she is like of all the Jedi's that were like during the High Republic era, like she was the one that really got my attention. And through the first book, The Light of the Jedi, and the comic books, like she is a really interesting character, and I really can't wait to read more about her as we go further into the High Republic. Like she also took place in my top 20 list. And by the way, there's another Jedi that I really want to say who is also in my top 20 from Legends, and I do believe you know about him, Jake Skywalker.
There's a Jake Skywalker.
Oh my God! I screw his name again.
Oh,
What?
Jason.
No.
Wait, no. Anakin?
Cade.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I don't know why every single time I know which character I'm saying, but I'm always saying Jake, and I was like, why Jake? Like his name is Cade, and sometimes I'm like Cade. Now Jake, Cade. Yeah, and I'm telling you, sometimes actually it happened to me twice when I said Cade. I'm like I was like okay, it's Cade, and then like a few seconds later, Jake. Fuck. Okay. Another character, like I said, another Jedi that is on my top 10, not top 20, top 10, Kade Skywalker. Or more precisely, the last member of the Skywalker line, who's also the protagonist in Star Wars Legacy.
Yeah.
Like he is also a really badass character, even though some people will say that he's basically a mixture of Han Solo and Luke, because he's also a smuggler and a scavenger, not just simply being a Jedi, because did you ever read Star Wars Legacy?
I've heard of it, definitely.
Because in basically the story of Kade Skywalker is that that he basically walked away from the Force and his family line. Because basically he wasn't basically proud of his family line. Especially with with Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he wasn't quite proud of that. So he basically walked away from everything, and through the story of Star Wars Legacy, you basically see his kind of return, to the Force.
Yeah, I know Cade now. Like he's like 90 years in the future or something like that.
No, he appears in the Star Wars Legacy storyline that is 100 years in the future.
That was close.
Well, kind of. You're like 900 and something ish, early, but okay. You're a little bit since
90. You said 100.
They say 900.
I said 90.
Okay, well you're okay. Sorry, sorry, I didn't hear you. I thought you said 19. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So you said 90. Okay, well you're 10 years.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to our conversation about the next topic?
Okay.
Hey,
So
real quick though.
yes.
I want to take a 10-minute break. Is that cool?
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we took a little break, but we're back. We wanted to go on our last topic, but Alan here decided that he wanted to talk more about the Sith.
What can I say? Like Sith Order all the way. No. I just want to talk to you about when it comes to the Star Wars canon, we didn't have too much Sith Lords, so. I think for you, if I ask you this question, I think you're gonna wrap your head around in a very easy way, I'm just gonna go for it. And of course, if you have any Star Wars Legends knowledge, just go for it.
Okay.
I want to ask you, do you have any favorite Sith Lords or Sith ladies?
Okay. Well, I would say, Okay, well, I don't know if you would consider him a Sith Lord. Kylo Ren is up there for me because he just has very interesting arc, probably one of the best arcs in Star Wars.
Even though, he is not officially Sith, he's more of a dark side Force user, but
it has a Sith quality to it.
Yeah, he has Sith elements in it, okay, just just simply go for it, go for it.
Yeah. Maul is definitely up there. Asajj Ventress, I don't know. She doesn't really have. It's not really more Sith. It's more of a dark side user. I actually wanted to mention this before. I was talking about character. She kind of has it's not necessarily like a turning point, but she does come back from. She doesn't turn back, but at the same time she's on better terms with the Jedi because they're like, oh, okay, Ahsoka kind of put in a word with the Jedi saying, hey, look, she wasn't treated the best, so if you can lay it on easier on her, I'd appreciate that.
True, yeah. Asajj Ventress, like I said, she wasn't. Like I said, she was more like a dark side Force user / assassin.
Yeah.
She was never officially a Sith Lord, because she was basically just for example the second sister, the Seventh Sister, you know, the Grand Inquisitor, like, you know, they were all dark side Force users, you know, but they were never like, you know, Sith Lord level.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, like even though I ask you, you know, the question about the Sith, you know, like you can still like, you know, mention some dark side for, you know, Force users if you want to, you know. I mean, like I said, just simply go for it.
Yeah. Vader, you would definitely say he's Sith, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Do you have any other preferences?
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Um, I'm one of those people. I even though I love like the good guys and whatnot, um, I also like characters, like we talked about before, that kind of have a good guy-esque quality, but at the same time they're evil. And there's a lot of, you know, characters like that in Star Wars. Um, who would you say is kind of the Doctor Doom of the Sith Lords?
Doctor Doom.
Yeah, like kind of has like that quality.
Oof. Oh my God, there's a big number of them. There is a big number of them.
Oh, by the way, for our viewers who are not comic book fans, Doctor Doom is not an evil business person, nor he is a hacker. Yeah, those the Fantastic Four and Four Stick. You know, as much as I like the 2005 Fantastic Four, it didn't really do Doom justice.
I mean, like, I just want to say that, you know, the first two Fantastic Four movies, like, you know, he was all right, but the third one, he was just simply more like Darth Doom than Doctor Doom.
You talking about Four Stick?
Yeah.
There is no victor. There is only doom.
Fair enough.
MCU, Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios, please do me a favor. Make this movie good. Make the new Fantastic Four movie good. Please. Please.
And you say I'm jumping off the topic.
Touche. Touche. All right, let's get back to it.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, like you said, which of the Sith Lords, like I said, has the Doctor Doom level, like the Doctor Doom characteristics? I mean, like,
Yeah.
there's a lot, like, you know. But if I had to say, like, who is kind of similar to Doctor Doom in a way, kind of similar, I think like Sith Lords like Darth Krayt, Darth Malgus, or Darth Malak, or who else? Maybe maybe I can even add, you know, no, not him. Not him. I mean, there's so many. Like I said, like there's so many. But I mean, for now, I can say those freak Sith Lords, you know, because like I said, like Dark, like I said, like Sith, like maybe I'm not quite sure, but maybe even I can even put in Darth Bane. Maybe when it comes to Doctor Doom personality. But it's really, you know, it's really kind of like, you know, like I say, it's really kind of difficult to make this kind of like, you know, accept like a comparisons, you know, that, you know, but I don't know. I mean, for now, I can definitely see like those four, you know, Darth Bane, Darth Malak, Malgus, and Krayt, you know, as like kind of being similar to Doctor Doom, but not that quite similar.
Yeah.
You know, not that quite similar, you know. But again, like you said, like your own favorite Sith Lords, you know, even though I didn't hurt Darth Sidious into that list as well.
All right, look, I'm gonna be honest. And by the way, I'm not going to stomp on Sidious. I like Palpatine. I do. It's just it's not like he's not a character that just kind of resonates with me. Like it's just you know, and I know you love him. I know you do, but I like characters more with a kind of a good and a complicated quality.
Fair
And
enough.
and that's why I kind of like Kylo Ren. Like I have this kind of running joke. If you're like kind of a fan of both Avatar: The Last Airbender and My Hero Academia, there's two characters that are kind of similar to each other. There's Prince Zuko, and then there's Shoto Todoroki, and they are the exact same character. Characters with a complicated lineage, a and a kind of battling personality. That that's why I like Kylo Ren so much.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Because like I said, I do have, like right now. I mean, right now I'm watching, my top 20, like Sith Lords and all that. Like I said, there's so many of them, that I really love. But I will say this, like when it comes to like not only just Sith Lords but Sith ladies, I will be mentioning them as well, because like through the Star Wars like universe, canon and legends, like I actually mentioned that in the first episode. Like, just like there are so many great Sith Lords, there are also so many great, like, Sith ladies. Like I said, Darth Treya, you have Darth Talon, you have Lady Lumia, who is also responsible for kind of turning Jason Solo into Darth Kade. You also have, Raylan. You also have Raylan. She appeared in the Old Republic video game, more precisely the story that centers around the Eternal Throne. You also have, Darth Zena, the apprentice of Darth Bane. You have Darth Cognos, who's, even though she is a Sith lady, but she was at the same time kind of like Darth Bane's assassin.
Yeah.
In a way. You have her. You have, Darth Maladi. You have like, what was that? What was her name? But yeah, Exo-San, who's also like one of the founders of the Sith Order. I mean, by the way, like you have to understand, in Legends, the Sith Order was created by the fallen Jedi who went into exile.
Yeah, well, I thought the Sith started out more as a race.
No. The Sith, those were the pure blood Sith, and their homeland was on Korriban. Just like in the old video games, especially the Knights of the Old Republic and Old Republic and the books, their homeland was on Korriban. But the overall Sith Order was founded on the, like I said, by the Jedi that were basically into exile, and what were their names? I know that one of them were Exo-San, then of course one of them was also what's his name? Ajunta Paul, I think it was him. Then of course there was another one that was that he kind of looked like an elf. With like pointy ears or something like that. I think like his name was Carnus Moore. Then of course there was another one called Hazine. And then there was like few others, who actually like founded, the Sith Order. And I do remember another one who is Sour's Sin, I think her name was. I'm not quite sure. But basically like, there's so many.
Yeah.
So many, and the Sith Order history is extraordinarily big, And also, can we just simply point out, before we go to the next topic, can we just simply point out that how hilarious was that basically the lightsabers back in the old days, they had like chargers on the belt?
Yeah. That's actually what I do know. I thought that was fascinating. Like, okay, so if anybody's not familiar with it, so imagine you're you're a Jedi, you're a Sith, whatnot. So you have the battery pack. You have a battery pack, and then you have a wire that leads up to a lightsaber. And I actually saw a concept. I think like the kyber crystal was kind of leading out of a saber. I don't know if that's actually canon to Legends or not, but
the lightsabers with kind of like with connected with kind of like a charger on the belt. That's actually Legends.
Okay. No,
Yeah,
I'm saying it's canon to Legends.
In a way, yeah. But also, can we just simply point out that before the lightsabers, in Star Wars, they were actually like real swords as well.
Yeah, they're cool looking swords too.
Yeah, and I mean, even though I will say that kind of the swords remind me of the World of Warcraft, the types of swords they had, but it was still kind of cool, like from swords to lightsabers with a charger, then from like kind of like medieval type of like Dark Ages like looking swords, the lightsabers, and then of course the lightsabers that we have now.
Yeah.
Like it's really crazy. It's really crazy. So I'm really hoping that they're gonna go to the Old Republic when it comes to like TV series and movies, that because this is a really big saga that could be explored.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I can go on and on and on and breathe like a donkey, but when it comes to the order, but I'm gonna stop here. I want to carry myself like out. Although I just want to say one last thing. Do you read the Darth Vader Marvel comic books?
I did a little bit of skimming of it.
Okay, so basically, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but basically there was this part where basically Darth Vader went to Mustafar, and he basically found like an old relic, which is basically this old helmet that was property of a Sith Lord that was created in canon called Darth Maul. Yeah. And even though, basically, without the helmet, he basically looks like a very creepy version of an elf, in a way, and even though, I just want to say that I'm kind of happy that that even though those are not like actual Legends Sith Lords, I'm really kind of happy in a way that that we're getting at least some Sith Lords, And I will say this, like the storyline with Darth Maul and Vader was actually very interesting. And I will even say that I even like the design of his master, Darth Shaw. Yeah, like it's like that part. I'm not gonna spoil you, like what it's all about, but I will tell you, like that part of the Darth Vader comic book storyline is really interesting. And I will say this, the battle that Darth Vader and Maul had. It's in illustrated in the comic book, but I would really love to see that like made on screen, because I would imagine that would be like one hell of a fight.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to a more fan discussion territory.
Yeah, definitely.
So this, can I do an introduction?
Go ahead. It was your idea.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is all like Force users around the galaxy, across the galaxy. This is something that was actually kind of my idea, but basically we're gonna have me and Specter 7 talk about our own ideas, what kind of a Star Wars trilogy we could have after Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Like what timeline, characters returning, new characters, villains, and all sorts of stuff, So this part of the podcast, it will be full on, like, fan march forward.
Yeah, it also ties into what we were talking about, kind of with the Rian Johnson trilogy, as well as kind of the Taika Waititi, because look, like they could have our ideas, and it's kind of like. It's definitely a sandbox that you can play in. Like, there is really no direction no clear direction where you can go with it.
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, I do remember like what you said, yeah, about
Yeah.
Ryan Johnson and all that. But basically, like I said, basically this time, let's just kind of pretend that that we are the storytellers in a way.
Yeah, exactly.
So how should we do this? I'm really interested. Like, will you go first, or like we were gonna go like back and forward?
Well, how about this? I actually do have an idea. I told you this a few times. I kind of want to go more in detail with it. And if you kind of want to add or even kind of come up with your own pitch, and then maybe we can meet somewhere in the middle.
Okay, so you go first.
Okay. So, when I was thinking of the Taika Waititi trilogy, I was thinking, what can he do with it? Like, what type of characters can you have with it? And I was thinking more, it would tie into kind of the High Republic and kind of like an era where you see kind of the Jedi at their height, but you also see kind of but you kind of see a character with their own little journey and kind of reaching their height. So my story starts with a group of pirates, and it's kind of like a kind of misfits. They're all kind of established. They all know each other, and you kind of get to see like all these characters. It's kind of we've kind of seen this trope before, but not really. So, the main character, it was a Jedi, was kind of a Padawan and about to be a knight, like once upon a time, and very young too. Like I say, like now they're in their 20s, but back then I say they were in like their teens, and so this pirate crew. They kind of do their own kind of, they're on their own, and they kind of have a Robin Hood type quality. They're not completely bad people, kind of like how the other pirates are in Star Wars. I mean, I wouldn't say pirates in Star Wars are bad, but they're definitely for themselves. And we definitely get to see kind of the dynamic between this, the main character, and the captain of the pirate, which actually was a Jedi master. And so apparently the main character lost their memory. And so the master, who's the captain of this pirate crew, found them. Apparently there was an ambush on the Jedi temple. They lost their memory. The captain kind of found them and said, "Hey, look, I found you in the desert." In reality, though, like they knew each other very well before that. And her memories are kind of, she remembers a little bit, but it's kind of like a little bit blurry. You kind of get to see this like the dynamic between their characters. You get to see a lot of lightsaber action. You get to meet the Jedi, kind of how where you get to see the elves in the Lord of the Rings, kind of see like kind of that, and just kind of that dynamic, and then you kind of see from like a kind of leads into more of a bigger trilogy, a bigger story at play.
Overall, what you said, like, it really sounds like interesting.
Yeah.
It really sounds interesting, even though like I get from what I'm hearing, like like it really has a lot of amnesia elements, in it.
Yeah.
But but the way how you said it, like like it really, I would really actually see. I would really love to see that. I actually love to see that more as a TV series than a trilogy of movies.
Yeah, I see it more as a movie trilogy though. Specifically, I'm kind of curious to see kind of the pirate stuff at the beginning play out, because I have this exact scene in my head where where there's a Republic. This is kind of like the Republic ship.
Yeah.
There's it's not an actual ship. Okay, it's kind of like a rocky kind of deserty planet, not like Tatooine, a little bit different than Tatooine, but there's a Republic ship that kind of goes by. The pirate ship kind of takes it over, and you kind of see these characters and kind of their characteristics. And then the main Jedi character, she comes in and does all her acrobatic stuff, and then you kind of see the captain be like, okay, so how'd everything go? He's kind of at command anyway. So I kind of want to see these characters kind of like the Guardians of the Galaxy, more how they're in Volume 2 than anything, kind of have an established kind of feel to it. They all know each other.
As I said, this really sounds interesting. Something I really love to see on the big screen.
Yeah.
And even though, when it comes to me, my projects, there are 2 projects actually I'm doing. One is I codenamed it Star Wars Unknown, but I'm not gonna talk about that because I'm not quite finished with that. But my overall fan project, that I'm quite fun doing, is actually my project actually starts 20 years after the Rise of Skywalker. Where basically you have Rey, Finn, Poe, Jaina, Rose, Tico, as adults. Rey already established the Jedi Order. She also founded some new recruits, which are basically 2 characters that I took from Star Wars Legacy. Because when I was doing this kind of a fan idea, is that I took a lot of elements from Star Wars Legacy, because this is out of all the storylines that we had, this is the one actually that I was kind of more inspired. Creating my own story, So from that story, I took a lot of elements from it, because from Legends to canon, including also the main villains, because the main villains in my story are of course the one Sith, the army, basically led by Darth Krayt, because the one Sith in Legends, they're known as the new Sith Order. I think you're kind of getting what I'm doing, because the Rey created a new Jedi Order, and also you have the new Sith Order. Because hear me out, the reason why I wanted to bring back Sith Lords as the main villains is because even though the 1,000-year-old war between the Jedi and Sith ended in the Rise of Skywalker, how can I put this? As Darth Krayt said it, the Sith are always born and reborn. You can't take them away, because it's a part of Darth Krayt's quote, but basically, in a way, he's got a point, because you can't really destroy the Sith, because one way or another, they will always come back.
Yeah.
And in my version, like I said, Darth Krayt, Darth Talon, Maladi, Strife, Wirelog the Third, and Nile are these are basically the Sith Lords that they're gonna face. And basically, in my story, it also explains how the New Republic recovered from the war against the First Order and the Final Order on Exegol. Basically, and how basically these 20 years of I was describing how basically they were at peace, and Rey was trying to build a new Jedi Order, and basically, like I said, she basically also, by the way, in my version, I would have done Finn justice. In my version, he would be a Force user.
Yeah.
And he also joined the Jedi Order.
Okay. The funny thing is, in the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, they actually did. He is a Force user. I thought that was pretty fascinating. I think Star Wars kind of beat. I don't even. If I'm being completely honest, I'm not entirely sure why they kind of halted Finn's development in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get it, like what you mean, like I mean, even I was kind of a little bit disappointed they kind of put him aside
Yeah.
in a way, but for me personally, like what I would have done is basically like in the new trilogy, like he would have been a Force user and also a recruit of the new Jedi Order, and basically the reason why I went 20 years in the future is because in these 20 years you could do other stories. How, for example, Finn's abilities were awakened. How basically, Rey discovered them, and how basically maybe even show how Rey trained, Finn, and basically maybe, well, not train, more like maybe even how she showed him the ways of the Force, in a way. But like I said, there are two recruits actually that she took for a new Jedi Order. Now those recruits are also part of the Star Wars Legacy story, and they're called Shadow Val. He's basically a Twi'lek, and Wolf Shazin, who is what's the name of the race that has horns? I'm not saying the Zabrak, not the Zabrak. The ones who have there was also a Jedi Master in Clone Wars who had lines on his face and a few horns.
Trying to think.
Okay, well, let me see. Let me see the race because I really can't remember the name.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too.
Let me just see. Okay. Oh shit! He's a Zabrak.
Oh, okay.
Zabrak. Yeah, he looks he's a Zabrak.
Okay.
Basically, in my story, which also kind of involve around their age, because in my story, those two are basically the new recruits that she took, as members of the Jedi Order, and also through in this trilogy, you can also see how Rey basically became just like Luke was in Legends, the new kind of like Grandmaster
Yeah.
of the Jedi Order, and basically, like I said, the in my story there would have been all sorts of like different characters from Star Wars Legacy that were brought back, because you see in Star Wars Legacy during that storyline, 100 years up the Return of the Jedi, there was no Republic. Basically, there was a Republic, but not the Republic. It was actually what was it called? The Feel Empire, the Feel Republic, like something like that. It was called. Like I'm not quite sure, but basically, the characters, the character who was in charge of the Republic, what's his name? Rowan Feel. Yeah, Rowan Feel. Rowan Feel, like for example, like he was kind of like the emperor of that empire, of that like kind of like fell empire. He was kind of the emperor. In my version, he would be like the Grand Chancellor, the Chancellor of the Republic, and alongside his daughter, who in Legends was like a princess, and in this version, her daughter, who is Marazia Fell, she would have been like like a senator.
Okay.
Like a senator.
Yeah.
And so and also there was another character who was basically the kind of like the admiral of the field army, and that was basically Gar Stasi, and his race is Cad Bane. That was his race. The blue alien creatures with red eyes, just like Cad Bane.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, Gar Stasi, he was kind of like the Grand Admiral in a way. I don't know actually precisely his rank, but he was like basically in charge of the army. And in my version, he would basically be the Grand Admiral of the New Republic, like fleet, in a way. And also his clothes, because this Field Empire or the Field Republic, they were all dressed up, like very Roman medieval time-ish uniforms. So in my version, they'll be like very, Star Wars, like Republic uniforms.
Yeah.
So basically, all the characters were brought back. Also, R2-D2, C-3PO, BB-8, Chewbacca, even they will return. And also, of course, our favorite new droid,
Dio.
Exactly, D-O. Even he will return back. Like all these characters, basically, all these characters will return back to my new trilogy, alongside some new characters from the Star Wars Legacy storyline. For example, in my story, like the primary villains are the Sith, and the secondary villains are a group called the Council of Moffs, who in the Star Wars Legacy were almost like an imperial remnants, basically, and they were basically working as a council, basically kind of like Tarkin, Wolf Yularen, and the rest, Cassio and the rest, were in New Hope.
Yeah.
On the Death Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were basically working like that kind of a council,
Okay.
So they'll be like the primary villains, the secondary villains, and they'll be like basically kind of like in charge of the fleet.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you this, in my project, the most difficult part is how to recreate Darth Krayt's backstory. So in my versions, I had these ideas like maybe, number one, that he could be like one of the survivors, when Exegol was destroyed, the temple, he would be one of the survivors, or he could be a secret apprentice that maybe Palpatine trained while he was on Exegol. To kind of like someone who can basically fulfill his destiny in a way that the Sith Order doesn't die.
Okay.
In a way. Like seriously, like I had so many different ideas, but the one thing I can tell you, one of the things I really love is that I would brought back Darth Talon as well. And here's the thing, the one thing that really kind of sometimes pissed me off is that and also one of them who was actually against Darth Talon is one person that you and I know, and his name starts with A. I'm not gonna say who, but his name starts with A. I think I know. I think you know who I'm talking about. A.
Asajj?
No. One of our friends on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
That starts with A.
You'll have to tell me after the show.
Yeah. Anyway, so our mutual acquaintance, he was basically against Darth Talon, saying that she was basically a Darth Maul ripoff. And I completely disagree with that. Because Darth Talon is a really, like, one of the most badass Sith ladies that ever existed. Not only that she's unpredictable, but also she's extremely skilled fighter, very skilled when it comes to the dark side of the Force, and also not to mention, she is a one hell of a killing machine and at the same time seducer. Like she really is a really great villain. And also because some people were saying, because I believe you noticed that Darth Talon and the rest of the Sith Lords were all Darth Maul like colors. Well, those were basically tattoos.
Okay.
Those are not the real skin colors.
Okay.
Those are basically tattoos because those tattoos kind of represents the one Sith. In a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, most of the elements from Star Wars Legacy I would have brought back, and in my version, I would add the only one cameo in it. It would have been actually the Force Ghost of Luke Skywalker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but in a way that I can actually also imagine in my head, basically Luke Skywalker talking with Rey again. Basically trying to guide her through this very dark time, because basically, like I said, in this trilogy and also in my version, every single movie would have been 2 hours and 40 minutes, or at least 3. because trust me, there've been a lot of things going on. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but basically, like every single character will have a description, basically what they were doing in these 20 years. For example, Jaina, you know the girl that Finn met on the remnants of the Death Star
yeah.
in the Rise of Skywalker. For example, she will have been the new ruler of the Cloud City. Basically, she took Lando Calrissian's place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because in my story, he died
Okay.
during these like 20 years. He died.
Yeah.
And basically Jaina took his place as the new ruler of Cloud City. You know, and basically, and of course, but in my story, the center, like the crew, the center of the story would have been Rey, Chewie, Poe, and Finn. They'll be like the four main like crew members.
Now I'm gonna ask you something. Well, first, I really like your concept. It kind of combines like, what we could we could possibly get from a sequel like that to kind of your take on a lot of the Legends lore. Now, I'm gonna ask you, if they were, say, maybe in the 2030s, if Disney were to come back to these actors and be like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you think they would say yes?
You mean, wait a minute, you think if the actors will say yes?
Yeah.
I think they would.
Okay.
I think they would, because first of all, it's been like, 20, 30 years, because I mean, like, basically all of my characters are like, in their 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
So all the characters will be in that age. So I think like, I think they would, because first and foremost, if you give them a really interesting story, that is very compelling and interesting, I think they'll be in it. I think they will try to give it a shot.
Okay.
And there, I mean, still, I'm still working on this kind of like fan project of mine. I'm still working on it, but there's so many things I would have added in. So many things. Like, of course, I wouldn't bring back the entire Star Wars Legacy storyline. No, I will only take like few elements from it. Well, in this case, actually, I took it a lot, but I will also add some new things as well. But yeah, like when you said like, would they be interested? I mean, for now, I can say maybe they would.
Okay.
I think maybe they would.
You know how I said like we can find like projects, like both of our projects, and like kind of put it in the middle. Our projects are completely different.
Yeah, like yours is. I didn't even quite understood. Like the only thing I didn't understood is the timeline. Where would you put?
It's actually like, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna say it's probably in like towards the beginning of the High Republic era, maybe somewhere in the middle, and then like I'd say it's like a little bit beginning, and then when 10 years before, it's like there's actually like a Sith, a kind of a Sith invasion, and then it kind of went away for a while. You know how that goes, and so it kind of leads that. So it kind of ties into kind of the High Republic, um, the High Republic publishing launch that Disney's currently doing right now. But at the same time, it's kind of their own thing, and kind of has some characters that we haven't met. And the Jedi Order seems like very expansive from what I hear about the High Republic, so I can definitely see that kind of tying in.
Yeah, because in my story, for example, the one Sith would have been like, I would categorize them as basically a group of terrorists, in a way. Like this, those terrorists basically who are trying to bring the old ways, back.
Yeah.
Like because for example, Darth Krayt. I mean, I wouldn't go basically Darth Krayt, because there's a lot of things of his character that will really bring back from Legends, and that is basically that in my version, Darth Krayt also wants to destroy the rule of two and bring back the old ways of the Sith, in a way.
Yeah,
Bring back the old ways of the Sith, where you can have like multiple apprentices, in your group.
yeah,
Yeah, because so basically that'll be like basically my like kind of few the elements of Legends that will bring back, but also like I said, there'll be like also some other new things that will bring back as well. It will bring back that will also add in it as well, but like right now, like I said, I only jumping back and forth, with the kind of like the overall uh, picture in a way that what my kind of like new trilogy would have been, but like I said, it will definitely be like 20 years after the Rise of Skywalker.
yeah, exactly. And
And
sorry, go ahead.
now I just want to say, because in my version, the one thing I would have always proved is that like first and foremost, to keep the balance of the Force, there always must be good and evil.
Yeah.
Because just like the Great Jedi Code, like there will always be good and evil, but you have to show that that evil must never win, and that that in a way that basically the Sith can always return. They will never die.
Yeah, exactly. And the way that I described my story, I'm not exactly sure what the villain is. I know it's kind of gonna tie into kind of like more like a like I know it's kind of gonna be similar to Nile, but at the same time, like I kind of wanna have like a very threatening a threatening kind of opponent, but at the same time not exactly be like a Sith.
Yeah, and also the one thing I want to tell you is when it comes to trying to rebuild Darth Krayt, I will tell you this, like I'm also trying to bring in him. I also will say that there's also a little bit of like Thanos in Darth Krayt, in like my version of Darth Krayt, my version. Like there's also a little bit of Thanos, like in my version, I don't want him, basically, just simply to destroy the Republic and the Jedi so he can build a new galactic empire. Like I'm trying to bring something new to him. Now, there are some things, that I brought back from Legends, but also there's a lot of things I want to add new, to his character as well. Something like trying to do a goal that is in a way is a little bit different and unique in a way. But again, I'm still working on it. Right now, like I say, I'm just simply throwing ideas on the table.
Yeah, same thing here. If I'm just doing whatever around the house or whatever, I'm trying to think about this story, and I'm like, and this isn't like any offense to you. I really like your story. You like the thing is though, like you're thinking about it more as like a fan, and I do like that like approach. I'm thinking more about it as okay, like I'm thinking more about it as like a movie franchise, like something creative, something like that we really haven't like seen.
Yeah, but for example, Rogue One was like a fan movie.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying anything against that.
No. I'm just saying that even directors who are like Star Wars fans, can do a movie that, it's still great, even though it's like a fan movie.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can say that about the Force Awakens and the sequel trilogy in general. It definitely has a lot of. It definitely ties over, but at the same time, it has its own concepts. It has its own.
Yeah, like I said, right now I'm only throwing some things that will bring back from the Star Wars Legacy storyline.
Yeah.
But like, I'm telling you, like I'm still working on like new things to put in it as well. Like right now I'm only throwing what I already know, like some things that I already know. But like I said, there are also a lot of things and ideas that are kind of like new to the content, that will bring in it. Like I said, like for example, like I said, I'm kind of in a way like recreating Darth Krayt as well, and also in the same time, I also, in my version, like for example, Rey, even though she became like kind of like because she's, even though she kind of is in my story, kind of like the Grand Master of
Yeah.
the new Jedi Order, but she still, struggles.
Yeah.
She still struggles, with the, with this big duty, like on her chest, basically, like she's struggling, with not only to recreate the Jedi Order, but also at the same time she's struggling with this, duty mission, like what it is to be, a Jedi, like a true Jedi Master, and basically to make sure, like that the same mistake that happened during the Republic, that doesn't happen again.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
know,
I
basically,
no.
basically, the Jedi Order. Sorry, basically, they're trying to, for the Jedi Order not to die again.
Yeah. I definitely get that.
Hmm. But also, in this new Jedi Order, which kind of also her lightsaber, the color, kind of give me an idea is that this new Jedi Order will be different. Like it won't be the old-fashioned approach. For example, like we know from the prequels, but the Rey will bring to the new Jedi Order something new, like new ways to use the Force, new teachings. Like it won't be closed-minded. It will be like more open-minded. It will like 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 especially when I was reading the High Republic, there were some things that kind of give me an idea what I can bring to the new trilogy. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm telling you, like right now I have all sorts of ideas, all sorts of ideas.
Uh, Same here. Like I'm thinking whenever I get a chance.
Hmm. Yeah, but I will tell you one thing. My movies, like if I was kind of like the writer and the director of Star Wars, like this new trilogy, trust me, like every single movie would have been like either 2 hours and 40 minutes or 3 hours, just like Endgame. Trust me, especially the third Star Wars movie, which sometimes I even split to kind of have like put into 4 movies, not 3. You know, like it's really like really hard. But one thing is like the third one. Trust me, in my head, I plan like a one hell of a like final battle.
Uh, I get you. Same here.
Yeah, one hell of a final battle. But I will tell you this: in my version, trust me, the New Republic wouldn't be blown away just like they did with Starkiller Base. Like you see a little bit of the New Republic gone. Like in my version, the New Republic like wouldn't be blown away like that. You
Yeah,
know.
I get you.
Hmm. Yeah. Like yeah. Oh my God. Like even like I even have plans. With when it comes to the soundtrack, I have plans and visions. I have visions when it comes to how the lightsaber duels will look like, or like even I have ideas for like Rey's teachings. Like wow, I have so many ideas evolving around this trilogy. So many ideas.
Uh,
Also, uh, sometimes I have this idea to kind of like to kind of on purpose do some plot holes on purpose. So, for example, it could be explored through like other stories in this like 20 years gap. Even though I don't know that people don't like plot holes, but some of them I will do like I would love to do like on purpose.
yeah, I get you.
Mm, oh my God, like like I tell, and yeah, like and I told you before, like the other project. I think I mentioned this project before. That codename Star Wars Unknown. Basically, this project would have been set up during the Old Republic, not the High Republic or even the Skywalker Saga, but the Old Republic,
Yeah,
and precisely during the Great War between the Jedi and Sith, like in between. But the difference is it wouldn't happen inside the war, but it will be during that timeline, but outside. the war, like somewhere on the other side of the galaxy. You know, and again, evolves a Jedi Knight who went on an adventure across the galaxy as sort of this kind of like vigilante, in a way, like a mixture of Batman and Robin Hood, in a way. This kind of a mixture of that too, you know. Yeah, kind of like Robin Hood and Batman, like, you know, that kind of mixture.
Yeah.
You know, like he goes as a vigilante, and through this journey, he meets like new people, and basically he recruits them in a way, and they become like a crew. You know?
Okay.
And like this entire crew, I feel like, you know, with assassins, scavengers, pirates, a droid, you know, a doctor, like all sorts of like type of people in it. Even in my crew, I even added a crime lord in it, like being part of the crew. And during that journey, he finds this kind of like child who is very strong with the Force, but has a very special. I'm not gonna say what because I'm still working on it, but he has a very special destiny and key role in my story. And basically, they're gonna fight against this criminal syndicate that is led by a Sith Lord.
Okay.
Yeah, he has, and in this Sith Lord has two apprentices. One is a female Twi'lek. No, sorry. One is a female Togruta, and the other one is a human / cyborg.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
what?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to listen.
Yeah. By the way, I want to ask you: do you think it's anti-Star Wars, for example? If, for example, that because I had an idea of like this human cyborg Sith Lord, basically, because one of his hands is, you know, robotic, mechanical. So like, he basically, his hand like goes like zip zip, and like from his hand you see the lightsaber. So would it be like
That definitely would be unique.
Yeah, but I don't know if the fandom will appreciate it.
I'll get you back to you on that.
No, like that's one of my ideas. It's not like, okay, that's it. Like, no, it's just one of my ideas because I can easily, like normally, or like, he basically, because here's the crazy thing. Here's the reason why I wanted to do this. Like, hand turns to a lightsaber. I'll explain to you why. Because the kyber crystal is in his hand. The kyber crystal is inside his robotic hand. And through the kyber crystal, not only he can like fight like with a lightsaber, but he can also shoots laser beams and like a gun is powered up with kyber crystal. Do you get the idea why I wanted to combine everything together?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I know it's crazy, but this is just an experiment. One of my experiments.
I definitely get you there. Yeah.
But what do you think of a Sith Lord being in charge of a crime syndicate?
Definitely unique.
Because that's one of the things that kind of went off the usual Sith order thing. Because basically this Sith Lord, he doesn't want to be part of this like kind of like Sith empire, but rather have his own empire. Basically he's this kind of like crime lord who who is the leader of this like crime syndicate, who is like in charge of like multiple systems.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, the story goes deep, but I don't want to go into details because we will have been like here all day.
Yeah.
But the story. Trust me. First and foremost, this story, I'm doing it as a TV series,
Okay.
not as a trilogy. Not as a trilogy. Because trust me, in my story there is a lot to tell, a lot.
I definitely get you there.
Yeah, but don't confuse it with the trilogy that I told before. Don't confuse it with that. So there's a lot to tell. So in my version, it would have been like like a TV series. And trust me, as the series will progress, it will go deeper, deeper, and deeper. And I will tell you this. In my story, I will also add some cameos as well. But the characters, but these characters would have been like these characters would have been like only Star Wars Legends fans would know. But basically, through that, I'm like, I'm bringing those characters, back to canon.
Okay.
Wow. For now, I think I should keep my mouth shut right now because I think I said too much.
I'm telling you, once you have an idea, like you just keep going. I admire that.
Yeah, but that way I'm, like I'm kind of making you smaller. Like, instead of like talking with me, like,
Yeah, I said what I need
you
to
out.
say though. All right, you ready to wrap things up?
I'm done.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching the second episode of the new rebooted Maclunkey Chitchat on the Pop Perch Network. Make sure you follow us on social media under me, the Pop Perch, as well as Alan. He has a YouTube channel, the Lord of Shadows. Make sure you check his stuff out. He's been talking about Star Wars, comic books, anime, basically a lot of things that are super villain related. And as well as look out for more content. We're thinking about starting another podcast, probably something comic book and superhero movie related. As well as I'm planning on coming out with some content of my own on the Pop Perch Network. And like I said, make sure you follow me on Instagram and like me on Facebook. And I'm going to be coming out with a Twitter soon. So,
With all being said, may the Force be with you all.
always, Force is with you.